course, there's going to be like some degree of hierarchy, but the reality is that these are people who have worked with me for years, and so collaborative. But I mean, you obviously have 100% veto power or the ability to do what you want, right?
The right heroes
yeah,
could make
of course
all
I can
the
upload what I
difference.
want.
Open
But
your eyes. Reality
yeah, I mean,
is but an illusion.
I mean, it's the same as anything. So in my opinion, I think that if you don't let people that you deal with, like I have the same thing, like my mods, like we have a mod channel, and some of my mods talk shit about what I'm doing or my content all the time. All the time. Like, this is fucking, how the fuck are you still talking about this? Bro, stop it, right? And that's not, we're honest, yes. And I told them I wanted that, like, that's good. I don't give a fuck. It's not a big deal to me at all.
Round
And
one,
so anyway, we got banned. Yeah, right. And so, well, that
Even
because you're
for
not
the
the mod.
Sorcerer
And you know, I'm not like, I don't really like, I trust them.
They'll
I
be
don't
coming
trust
in 30
random.
seconds.
And so, yeah, I'm your number one hater. Yeah, Void is very critical of the way that I was handling the subreddit, and we had conversations about that. Like a lot of my mods, we've had a lot of conversations about this, and I think that that's a good thing personally. And this is how I've always done stuff. And the reason why I do things this way is that it's because of like the years that I spent doing like a video game like guild
The
stuff.
battle starts in 5.
When you have
4,
people that are in your
3,
guild
2,
that they don't have
1.
a paycheck that they're relying
You have
on,
to stop
that
them
they
from
have to
securing
listen
the
to you
mission area.
for, they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is just play a video game. You have to convince people to let you lead them.
Hostiles up front.
And I think that if you grow up spending your entire life convincing people to allow you to lead them and at least help them, you create a better I don't like to tell, as I said, I don't like to tell people what to do. You create a better relationship with employees, with people that you're working with, people in your guild, etc. And so that's just the way that I look at it, right? It's a better dynamic. Yes, it's a much healthier dynamic. And so it's management style. Yes, and that's the way that I do things. And anyway, so that's basically the way that I see it. I'm sorry, but this is pathetic. Why tweet this high school drama shit? If you think this is problematic, that's what
the Sorcerer
4 more
Supreme
days.
returns.
We have 4 more days.
I'm opening a portal.
If you think this is crazy, I'm telling you guys, like y'all got no idea. But pretty much that's the way that we've been doing things. We've been doing this for many years. Like I'm talking about like 5 years. And before then, they were just pretty much running the channels themselves. We had a consolidation, maybe in like I think it was 2019, 2020, for a number of reasons. And then now everything's pretty much all on one channel. And so yeah, that's basically it. And that's the way the content is. That's how, like, for example, this video right here, Trump just ended the war in Israel. And so anyway, this has 1.5 million views. Well, it was uploaded 22 hours ago, which means that it was uploaded at about 2 p.m. yesterday. Well, I was live at 2 p.m. yesterday. So how could this video have been uploaded if I had just reacted? Well, it's because I have my editors doing it as well. And so that's the way that I have it. And then I also have as well. And then I had another guy that was doing dangerous. Like there was like an issue, like I got a job, and then like now somebody else is doing it, and like I don't have any communication with the people that run like my TikTok stuff right now. They just do whatever they want. And so yeah. Anyway, so this is just how it is. Secret Army. Yes, clearly the editor I have for my shorts. I don't think this is a problem for me to say. It's the same editor. I got the editor from Immer because I thought he did a really good job, you know, building up Emery's presence on social media with shorts. And so I thought, okay, well, I mean, let's see if he can do that with me. It took a while for, you know, it to catch on, but I really think he's been doing a great job. I can go ahead and just pull it up real quick. Social Blade, and then... So, like, right now, like, we're at 23 million views. And so, like, this is going very, very well. Obviously, like, graphs are going up. And
By the eye of Agamotto!
For a while, right? Like, first, you know, getting noticed and, like, having people pick up. But, like, you know, you just keep working and you keep clocking in the hours. And then eventually things start working out. And so, and this is my 3rd or like 4th YouTube. It's actually like my 4th or 5th YouTube channel, right? And so, like, this one, it's going to take a while for it to start growing, obviously. So, yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. And you ever think about having a third Twitch channel that runs VODs? I don't know, how much money do you make from YouTube per month? I'm going to give you an honest answer. I don't know. Some of the people that manage my money will just message me occasionally, and they'll say, hey, we're going to move over a money to these investments. You know, let's have a conversation about it. We do, and then the money's moved, right? That's about it. And so, like, I don't really think about it a whole lot. And so, yeah, it's that simple. I don't think Elon is just joking, having fun.
Armed and dangerous!
Good thing I was here.
Mortal
So
pain is no
he says
match for the
basically, this is what he
Sorcerer
says.
Supreme.
No other way to say this. But while Asmon is good at caustic commentary and making fun of people, he is not good at video games.
I am strengthened.
And so I obviously retweet this, and I say, where did it come from? Leaking my DMs is one thing, but this is absolutely uncalled for. Which is like, again, I don't take this seriously. It's not a big deal to me at all, right? It's whatever, and that's fine. Beats all the thing, not good at video games. Yes, exactly. And so that's the way I see it. Should I link your rank 1 star auto bars? I mean, the thing is that I don't even. This is the way I look at it, right? It's easy to say that you don't care about being good at video games and you don't want to have to when you're doing something bad. There are a lot of video game accomplishments that I could say, yeah, I have this or that or the other thing. But at the end of the day, I really meant what I said when I said that I don't really care about being good at video games. So it's not really relevant to me whether, you know, somebody thinks I was good or not. It's just not a big deal. And anyway, that's really it. And so I am Quinn's reaction. Okay, let me see if I can find it. You used to, though? Oh, I used to way too much. What did Quinn say? What the hell? Bro, this thing is so laggy.
You know, maybe just go level 80 something. You know, do like at least. You know, maybe just go level 80 something. You know.
The Vishanti guide us to retreat.
I said, see, the thing is that, and this is the thing, is like if he wants to, if Elon wants to, we can figure out a way. Because like I know the things that people can check if you're cheating. I'll help you cheat, and people won't know. But you can't do it like this. It's too fucking obvious. You can't. It's too fucking obvious.
Do some, you know, level 97, bro. Top, but his ego's too big for that. Too big. He's like, no, I want to be the highest rank possible, so I can brag to Joe Rogan. And then Joe Rogan has no fucking clue what's going on, so he's gonna be like, wow, holy.
All you need to do is capture the mission area.
You're so good.
I'm opening a portal.
I was like, I don't know how I do it. You know, I've got all these things in my head. I've got 12 things in my head right now. 12 things. There's 12 things in my head. And then I'm playing the game, and then I'm looking at my screen.
And you want to know the worst part about it? Is the fact that Quinn didn't even get his checkmark taken away. Wait. Then Rex? Yeah, there we go. Like, he didn't even get his check. Like, he didn't get in trouble. Like, Quinn got in trouble. I got in trouble. Quinn didn't get in trouble. Quinn made the fucking video. That's not fucking fair. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'll watch the rest of it.
There's a dog
The
on my
Sorcerer
laptop.
Supreme
At the same time, I'm trying to read
returns.
the chat and playing the game, and just, you know, there's just so much noise.
Yeah.
I need to quiet the demons that are within inside me. Okay. So that's why I go big dick in games and I become rank 1. It allows me to see the code. I can see the matrix because I am Neo. I am literally him. I am. Oh man, God,
I am strengthened.
Okay. Well, anyway, so
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
checkmark
This
is
feels
completely
empty.
consequential.
Somehow
I
dangerous.
think that he will see my point of view. And I understand that he's probably annoyed by it, and he might feel a bit betrayed. But I feel like I'd be betraying him if I didn't talk about it, because if you want me to be honest and you want me to have a platform that is, you know, I think that in general, like for a number of things, Elon and I are very much aligned with like the viewpoints that we have. And people might not like that, but it is a fact. And so, armed and dangerous! I can't use that and then be basically, you know, making stuff up and defending it. I can't do that because then it destroys the credibility. Does that make sense? It really does? Yeah, right? And what is this here? Elon wants yes and also. You're just raising him now? You weren't making it unable before?
It's party time!
No, the thing you guys don't know is because most people don't make it public. There have been a lot of people who have been really upset and angry at me that I've covered topics that involve situations that they're involved with. And some of them are creators, some of them are people in you know, the gaming industry, some of these people are other just known people, etc. There has been a lot of people who have been unhappy about the way that I've covered things. Mr. Beast, to be honest, no, that's actually not an example of it. Mr. Beast has never complained to me about the way that I cover content. He has never complained to me about it. And so I don't want to go, guys, but stop. I just gave one example. I don't want to, you know, play, you know, like who's who, where it's like I'm disqualifying certain people, and then people are trying to like draw connection. Okay, so we didn't say this person, we didn't say that person, right? And so that's it. Get the gist of it, right? And so anyway, that's just my first example. And but it was not Mr. Beast. And anyway, so that's basically the way that I look at it. And I feel like you're always trying to be fair when you talk about a topic and try to stay away from getting anything personal. I do. I really try to be. I really try to be fair. And I think that in some cases people might think that my fairness is wrong. They might think that I have the wrong viewpoint. But I think that, for example, with like my takes on. I think TikTok is very split. There's a lot of people in the audience who are not fans of my viewpoint on TikTok. And then you have other people who, like, I think best example is Pirate Software thing. A lot of people didn't like that I initially defended, like, what Pirate Software did. Like, and, like, how he played in Dire Maul. And people were really angry about that. But I came to that conclusion myself, and I just decided that because I thought that was what it looked like to me, right? Now, it doesn't really matter to me whether other people agree with it or not. The reality is that if I think that it makes sense, well, then I'm going to imagine that's what happened. And also, like, another point with Quinn, you called him out with the PoE thing, then you called him out for wanting to stream on X, aka you guys are connected, so he felt betrayed. Yeah, no, I definitely, I could see that, and I don't really think that's the case at all. I mean, I don't look at it that way, but, you know, sure. You were wrong initially, though. Do you have bias, though? I try to not cover topics that involve people that I'm close friends with, because I think that bias will leak into the coverage, and I don't want to misinform people, right? It's the same as like a judge recuses themselves of a case, and so that's the way I see it. Did you feel any pressure to not cover it from Elon? No, I mean, obviously, like, when I saw the video, I was thinking to myself, yeah, there's a chance he'll probably maybe see it and get mad. I mean, of course that crossed my mind. No, I still did it. But, like, of course I would think that. Yeah, I mean, it's common sense that you would come to that conclusion, right? Of course. But, anyway, it's still, like, what I would do. And, yeah, you went way too easy on him? Really? I mean, how hard did you expect me to go? Like, I don't think it's that big of a thing. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I was very fair. And again, you really did? Yeah, sure, right? Would you still consider uploading to X after this?
Is a vexing problem.
Oh, we gotta talk about the
30
ads.
seconds before you
We gotta talk about
attack.
the ads
Get
and like
ready.
the revenue. We gotta figure that out. Yeah, we gotta figure that out now. And yeah,
with
like,
ancient
yeah,
gods
I
once
don't
in a
know.
blue moon,
But
right, Doc?
no, I don't
On
have
occasion.
any.
But to
I,
serve
as
as
I said,
one's
I don't take
avatar
any of this
must
stuff
be
seriously at all. And
Yeah,
yeah, you gave up way too easily. He was truly fucked up for this.
Khonshu is always
Fucked up for what? Oh, for
Perhaps
the
divine
battle
wait,
exorcism.
starts
for
in
what?
5,
This? I'm so
4,
confused.
3, 2, 1.
I think your video is pretty
All you need to
mild.
do is
Yeah,
capture the
I
mission
tried to do
area.
that. It's
Got
crazy
it?
to me. He accuses you to be under some boot while you covered him negatively, basically on the most powerful person people on Earth. Well, sure. Well, anyway,
shortcut through space.
this is my life, okay? So,
I am strengthened
initially,
for
I'm an Elon Musk dick rider, and I'll defend him no matter what. And then I'm ignoring the Quinn video. Then I watch the Quinn video. And now Elon Musk is mad at me. I'm like getting my verification taken away on Twitter. And it's like, it just doesn't matter what I do. People are gonna have something to say about it, you know what I mean?
Be your best self.
That's just it. Yeah, whole checkmark thing is authoritarian in my opinion. The exact thing both of you hate. I think so too. I think it was dumb to take away the checkmark. I think that he realized that, and that's why. Let's see. Do I still have it now? I still have it. I'm waiting for my gaming checkmark to come back. Hopefully it's gonna be soon. Yeah, you know, I'm just waiting. You know, just turn it back on, man. Come on, you know that's
Enemy
what's
in
fair.
front of us.
You know that's what's fair. Crip doesn't. Crip got his checkmark taken away. I was gonna tweet him. I didn't have to pay you $8 now.
Hurts.
But I decided not to. And anyway, what's this here? Barbarian. Let me see.
Another piercing ball.
Okay.
Invisible? Turn around, quick.
Crip never had it. Is that true? And also, by the way, there are some people that were making, like, they were like, I saw the clip of Quinn. Hopefully Quinn won't mind me saying this, but like, he actually, like, I don't think apologized is the right word. He clarified that, like, he wasn't trying to, like, take shots at me or something for, like, the fact that I had the powers of light! People were taking that a bit out of context. So, like, yeah, he talked about it exactly. Yeah. And so, like, I just want to let you guys know, like, me and Quinn are 100% good. Like, there's no issue. Like, that was never even a thing. That was just, like, an internet. And like, I've known Quinn for years, right? And so, like, I never took it that way. But, yeah, there it is. Just
By the eye of Agamotto!
Going on there, it wasn't even done. So, yeah. Do you think that checkmark removal is messing around being serious? I have no idea.
Darkness.
Yeah, I cannot read people's minds.
Help get that vehicle
So
to its
anyway,
destination.
that's basically where we're at. Now, what happens after this, I'm not really sure. I have no idea. 2025 is wild. What's your take on the mental state of Elon after this? I mean, I've been so embarrassed to be in public for this person. Am I overthinking it? I think that he just doesn't give a shit, and he says whatever he thinks in the moment, and that's basically about it. I mean, that's just like, I don't know. Yeah, that's... I guess I grew up with a lot of people like that. It's pretty normal to me. Yeah. And what's this here? You see Quinn's tweet? Oh, which one? I've seen too many of them. And anyway, so why don't we start a live on Twitter right now? That's kind of fun. Well, because I'm not monetized anymore, I got taken out of the gaming program. See, I would have gone live on Twitter to do this, but you know, since he had to take away my gaming badge, now I've been armed and dangerous. I mean, that's what the hell. So it's too bad. Yeah, it's a real shame, isn't it? And anyway, so that's basically where it is. And anyway,
Leave me, darkness.
Elon from Jeff Bezos, couldn't tell him permanent. It's good Elon, you're talking like you have a filter. Well, I don't hate Elon. And I think that you guys have maybe noticed this, is that when I have a disagreement or somebody gets mad at me, I really try to never make it personal.
By the eye of Agamotto!
I've had for like, I don't know, maybe about a year now. probably a bit less, is that I do genuinely try to not make it personal. And that's it.
Your powers are mine!
Against the world! Anyone willing to help?
Yeah, I thought you liked free speech. Yeah, what about Yamato? He was, to be honest, yeah. I probably went a little bit too hard on Yamato. But listen, like, this is like a can I talk to the teacher? You know, I need to speak to the manager thing. I thought it was ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're complaining, you're talking to the manager. Yes.
Us against the world!
Anyway,
I am
so,
strengthened.
Retaliation situation they go the most, you know, was fully unhinged. Well, what do you mean when he was? I mean, I don't know. That's not very descriptive, but yeah. And so, yeah, anyway, being monetized on the website is nothing to do with First Amendment chat. Are you gonna watch Destiny reaction to Elon Musk and Sam Harris falling out? No, I've not seen that. Apparently there was some COVID death or something like that. Who do you think is a better Elden Ring build, me or Elon? I'm gonna be honest. And it's not even close. It's not even remotely close. So yeah, the wall, it's not even the wall. Even the jump attack builds that I had back in the day was really, really good too. So yeah, you were going way harder on some other cheaters in the past, now it's just more behavior to you. Yeah, I've tried to dial things back and not get as mad or as vitriolic as I used to. Is that bad? Is that bad? Like, that's what I said, like, when I came back from taking a break on, like, you know, like, I was not taking a break, I got suspended for 2 weeks, right? And so, like, after that, I really tried to dial down the emotional vitriol that I would have on the stream. Now, obviously, like, I'm a human being, and so people make mistakes, but I tried to treat a lot of internet drama and stuff like that more like it's entertainment, rather than it is some kind of, like, big deal or big
I am ready to put on a show! Us against the world!
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to go through that at all. And anyway, so you don't hate Elon. People are going to get mad about anything that I do. But this is the thing for me, and I want people to understand this, and you can respect this or not, but either way, you can take it to the fucking bank. I will try to be as fair from my point of view as I possibly can be, regardless of what people say about me, regardless of how they treat me,
I am ready to put on a show!
their past behavior towards me. I try to be fair regardless. This is what you want, grow backbone?
More tentacles than Gargantus himself.
You just want me to say a bunch of bad shit about you. That's all you want me to do. You want me to sit here and talk a bunch of shit. Can you react to your apology? Jesus, who is this guy? Is so weird. Oh my god. Your own chat's trying to dictate your behavior. I think that there's a lot of people. So, and this has been going on a lot, and it is from certain communities. We're not going to name the communities, but there are certain communities out there that have been very ambitious and very enthusiastic about pushing narratives about me having some sort of hidden agenda or things like that. I spend a lot of time on Reddit. I spend a lot of time on Twitter. I see a lot of these posts, a lot. I read them. I will look up, you know, posts about myself because I am an egomaniac. And so, if you guys are doing stuff like that, I probably do see it. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. It's also white nationalist. No, I have read.
Stay strong.
So pretty much every single day there have been threads about me on poll. Now it's kind of stopped recently because there hasn't been like anything crazy that's happened. But ever since, like, I mean, I remember the Sam Hyde thing. People were going in on it. Like, there were so many of those. Hard to keep up. Yeah, there are. There's a lot of them to keep up with. You know. And so that's it.
2, 1.
Anyway, you know, people said both you and Pirate share the same media company. Pirate? No, that's Mr. Beast. That's the Night Media thing. And yeah.
Sure.
I think I bet
Keep
pussy
an eye
like
on
Elon,
this
it's very
one.
understandable. A lot of people want me to go full nuclear about it. I don't think that it's necessary to do that. I don't want to create drama. As I said before, you know, maybe I want to go to SpaceX one day. I think that'd be really cool. If I could go live stream one of the rocket launches, that'd be great. So no, I don't want to go and start a bunch of drama and burn a bridge. Absolutely not. Why would I do that?
Strengthened for battle.
Why would I do that? It makes no sense.
Leave me, darkness.
Anyway, do it be funny? Yes. And anyway, that's the way that I look at things. What do you think would happen if Elon faked the Minecraft speedrun? Dude, I wanted to cover the Dream and Tommy Emmett stuff like for like 3 days, but it just keeps getting dumber every single day, and I haven't wanted to do it because every day that I think I have an understanding of what's going on, things change, and then like there's new clips that get uploaded and people link them to me, and I'm like, wait, what? Why would he do that? Wait, why would he say that? If it, why would he do that? So it was, at a certain point, I just didn't want to deal with it at all. Do you think he's listed in Diablo 4? Oh, probably. I think
I am ready to
it's
put on
probably
a
half
show.
of it. Like, it wasn't 100%. It seemed like he played Diablo 4 more because he streamed it more. But do I think he got all that character?
I am ready.
By the
100%.
shades of the Seraphim,
It's too much time and effort to put into the game to do that. It's impossible. Like, I'm not sure about Diablo 4. I mean, I feel like we're 100% sure on PoE, right? 100%. Diablo 4, it's hard to say, but, you know, past behavior is an indicator of other
This
behavior,
feels
right?
empty,
I mean, there's a pattern.
yet
It shows
somehow
how stupid you think
dangerous.
we are. Yeah, sure. Has GGG reacted to it? Like, shouldn't he get banned? I don't know. Like, I don't think that they're going to react to
Good
it at all.
medicine.
Strong together.
Did you see Elon thinks you're a boss and you aren't being
This is where
yes,
we
I
must
did see
attack.
that. I've talked about that a number of times, but yes, I am. I think that that's the problem, is that I'm very genuine, and it causes problems every single day. But I will continue to do it one way or another. Do you think your theory on Elon using HV1 visas to hire gamers to play is accurate? I don't really. Okay, no. That was obviously a joke, but
By the eye of
it's like
Agamotto,
98%.
I am strengthened.
I'd say that. That's rock and Elon is bad. Okay, I will.
Let me guess. Your Namor's
His
friend?
own AI.
He stopped them in their tracks. Be strong together. Behold, their style!
Enemy in front of us.
Actually, a swift Rainbow stand with you!
I feel like myself again.
They've made it
By the
halfway!
shades of the
Stop
Seraphim,
them!
I'm opening a portal.
Be your best self.
Pentagram of Hurrah.
This is not my opinion. Not anything you're gonna get rid of it. Like we gotta go to Grok 3 now, right? And we go back to Grok 1. Like there's something wrong with this. Let's read the code.
Timely intervention.
From the evidence and expert opinions available, it seems more than
I am
likely,
ready to put on a
likely
show!
that Elon Musk did not personally build his character for level 97 in Path of Exile 2. The community's reaction, combined with the analysis of the gameplay, leans heavily toward the conclusion that his character might be denial from Musk, and in the absence of concrete evidence, this remains speculative. This skepticism primarily stems from the observed gameplay and practicalities of achieving such a high number, given Musk's published methods.
Double KO! Better stop
Hands
that
are shaking
vehicle!
again. Focus.
There it is. They gotta shut this. They gotta shut this AI shit down now. They gotta get rid of it. Do you think it was fair for Twitter to take away Asmongold's verification
This feels
And
empty. Yet somehow
membership
dangerous. By
in
us
the
to
X
obtain, we
slash
overcome.
Twitter membership X slash Twitter, let's see here, group,
A
because
nice deep freeze.
of him pointing out that Elon Musk may have lied about
I am
Let
straight.
me guess. More friends? Behold! Destroy! Against the world! Disappear!
By the shades of the Seraphim, I return.
All right.
Namor's subjects are tenacious.
Is it fair or not?
Don't give them another inch! Or else.
Given the available context, it seems that the removal of the verification and group membership, if indeed occurred solely because Asmongold's comments on Musk's gaming,
Doctor is
might
in.
be seen by many as an unfair use of platform power to suppress criticism. However, without broader explicit details from X/Twitter on
I
why
am
these
ready to
actions
put on
were
a show!
taken, this remains speculative. The broader implications for free speech and platform governance need to be considered in evaluating such a decision.
By the eye of Agamotto!
60 seconds left.
We gotta shut this shit down, boys. You're gonna need a tractor for all this farming? It's actually crazy. I'll be honest, like, it's actually...
What have you summoned now, Namor?
We stop them in their tracks!
Oh, God!
I am strengthened for battle.
Oh, shit!
Down to 30 seconds!
Oh, shit!
Oh god, unbiased. Yeah, Elon Musk takes action against Asmongold Gaming this year. His unfollow popular Twitch streamer Asmongold X removes verification of that and leaves private direct messages between them. The action follows a dispute over Asmongold's critique of Musk involved in the video game FXL 2. Musk's response included a publicly criticizing Asmongold for not being independent in his actions, leading to a significant reaction across social media platforms. Man,
The sorcerer.
2025 dominance to come down.
Winner.
I just...
Such strange creatures.
Powerful yet.
This is insane, man. Like,
Armed and dangerous!
is publishing DMs legal?
3,
I don't
2,
care. He can publish
2.
all of the DMs we had. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, he can do it. I don't have anything. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, people have leaked my DMs so many times. I remember, like, I think, like, FaZe Rain did that when I was talking to him about, like, that girl that had joined FaZe. And, like, yeah, no, it happened plenty of times. You missed the point. I mean, whether it's against the law, it's not against the law. And so, anyway, he is not his own man. Elon Musk, well, here's the thing, though, right, is that I think that I wouldn't have been my own man if I hadn't covered it. Because if I hadn't talked about it out of fear or, you know, worry that, you know, it would burn a bridge or get somebody mad, wouldn't that be the exact same thing? That's the way I see it. Do you think it confused YouTube editors like editors for a newspaper? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. And then I've even got, yep, there we go. It appears Elon Musk has taken Asmongold's check away after he called him out about a video game. He also leaked his DMs. This is a legendary meltdown, abuse of power, exactly what the left does. Most will be too cowardly to call it out, but this is unacceptable. Asmon said Elon is a fake gamer. Elon leaked DMs with them, then removed the dude's... This is where I got removed from the verification badge. Man.
The right heroes could make all the
Oh,
difference.
God.
Open your eyes. Reality is but an illusion.
Do you mind sharing how your first contact with Elon occurred? Yeah, sure. I talked about it earlier. He hit me up. It was like, I think it was actually on Thanksgiving, because like we were having dinner and you know, like we talked about that, and you know, he was like, you know, how would you feel about like uploading videos on X? And I'm like, that seems like a good idea. I mean, I'd be down to do that for sure. And like, you know, I like X. X is great. So yeah. And basically I told him like I'll talk to my editors about it, and you know, we'll figure it out. And then I messaged my editors. I think that they're okay with me showing this. Let me make sure, because I can even show the message that I sent them. I said Elon hit me up and was asking if I'd want to post clips and videos on Twitter. Do y'all think it's a good idea? We'll probably make separate account for it for monetization. He says that's cool, LOL. I know he asked XQC before too, but I hadn't seen any similar content creators get crazy numbers doing that. People are free to repost as much as they want. I feel the opportunity is there. We would have already started spamming clips and videos. On TikTok, there are already some repost clips that get a lot of views. Maybe you can tell people to do it in the next stream, and then we can see how it goes. Exactly. So this is the conversation we had.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Yeah, there it is. Seems like you need their approval, no? Well, I would need their approval in a way, because I wouldn't want to sign them up for an activity that they didn't sign up for. So like if they're my editors and they'd be the ones uploading the clips, then of course I would want to make sure and check with them before I sign them up for an activity that I haven't. Like, of course, that's yeah, absolutely. I treat most things like a collaborative effort rather than being telling people what to do or anything else beyond that, right? That's usually how it is. Stuff like this should not happen to you. If you think this is bad, it's only going to get worse.
Hands are shaking again. Focus.
It's going to keep going. Yeah, it's going to keep going. And if you think that this is going to be the last time that I cause trouble, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, this is going to be some real shit. Why is your checkmark on? It's not yet. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'll read some of the articles and everything that people have been writing about it. Asmongold has responded to being followed. I work with the editors. Holy fucking hate. Let's see Asmon wriggle his way out of this one. Can you believe this YouTuber has an editing team? Me, Epic, Elon W. It's over for Baldy.
Jury! Executioner!
Oh, there it is.
I have unfinished business here.
Wow. Why do people beef with the owner of the app and think nothing's gonna happen? Given Asmongold personally, I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner. Yep, why are they confused? He doesn't know. Talk about his editors a lot of time. Yep. Even in the DMs, you know, progress is interesting. Yep.
The Punisher's turret is active.
Wow. Oh god. Fired, is that really it?
There's still a chance to stop them. Better stop that
The worst bulb? Yeah. I tried too. Destiny reacted to the whole situation, video on YouTube about it. I'm glad, listen, I'm glad that I can give people something to react to also. Because I'm always reacting to everybody else's videos, and now people get a chance to react to them.
I am strength.
You know, I feel like I'm feeding into the ecosystem. It's perfect. Can I look at this situation? Yes, I'm giving back to the community. I'm part of the circle of life.
I must be healed. This feels empty, yet somehow dangerous.
Oh, Jesus. I'll read some more of these and see what they are. And we're so back, boys. Yeah, I know. It's really, really fucking good, man. And, wow. So what is Elon getting out of this?
Life Force wants to heal you.
Well, and this is the thing. So I tweet. This is real firepower. Shows up.
On your go.
Good medicine.
Nick is trying to roach his way in here and get free points. Ask him for free spelling bee. This is the wrong time to ask for free stuff. It's the wrong time.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Jesus. Oh my god. I gotta look.
This is just one of your tricks, right, Ruby?
I am strengthened.
Do devs know what gamers want? I think it depends on the devs. Yeah. Yeah, it really depends on the devs, huh?
Today I want to talk about
Better stop
devs
that
know
vehicle.
what gamers
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop
This
them.
video is a direct follow-up to my video last week. Do gamers know what they like? Before I'm in that video,
It's not.
I just mentioned I was going to do
Our
it
enemies
in
are
a
near.
comment section
Better stop that vehicle.
Strengthened.
almost 2 months ago. And Lyra Wall said, personally, I think you devs know what gamers want is even better. And you know what? They're right.
Just replace the light.
So go back to the This is real firepower! Not even that late for them.
It's kind of sad. Because I feel like devs have been out of touch with what
Judge,
what
jury,
players want for a long time. And I think that also one thing that's worse than that is that they are oppositional to what players want.
Good
So
medicine.
it's not only that they don't know what they want, they do know what they want, and they don't want to give it to them.
I purge the darkness.
I don't know what your comments were on that other one.
Based. Doesn't
Better
mean
that way, because I want to give you the
yeah.
raw, unfiltered response to do devs know what gamers want? Here it is. No. No, we don't.
Okay.
We have no idea. Seriously, what you want. I almost did this
There
in
it
a
is.
short. I was just going to do a short real quick.
I am
Devs know what gamers want. Cut it off.
That's the end of it.
And you can stop here. If you want to know why it is they're so absolutely confused about what it is you want, keep watching. Because I know some of you are like, it's stupid. You know, you should know what you
Only
want.
60 seconds left.
Okay.
Here's the long list. And it's all kind of can be summed up as because you don't know. But you gotta remember I'm saying collective. I wish English had a collective use. This is real Let me dive into that. This is a deep dive on why y'all don't even know what you want, which is why we don't know what to give you.
Yep.
Down to
First
30
off,
seconds.
many of you only tell
I think that he's right, but I also think that he's half right. People might not know what they want,
Stop it in there.
but they do know what they don't want.
developers what you hate.
The final 10 seconds.
Great. You said what it is you don't want, but what is it you want? I have an entire video
Yeah.
on how to give good feedback, and I'll link it below. But I can just say, saying, I hate this in games, I hate this feature, I hate this kind of character.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Characters do this. Well, guess what? There's an entire realm of non-sarcastic characters. But what is it you want? Do you want funny characters? Serious characters?
I think that a lot of people like everybody wants something different, right? And that's always the issue is that like how do you I think that people want characters that seem authentic.
Better stop that
And they
vehicle.
want characters that behave in ways that seem realistic, but at the same time, they don't seem like they're a facsimile of the personalities of the people that are making the game.
Side you're on.
Do you want characters with a lot of background? Do you characters that with very little that you don't want to spend a time in a wall of text dialogue? What do you want? That's why you have to tell us what you want and not what you don't want. But wait, there's more. Even when you say...
I think in a lot of those cases, it's not an example of like people want one thing or another. Like you can have Elden Ring that's massively successful, and you can also have something like God of War that's massively successful. You don't really need to have like one specific version of it. I think anything like that can fit together. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 characters, exactly. And so like if you go to the grocery store, you're gonna get steak and ice cream.
Nothing here.
Usually if you want steak, you're not going to supplement that with ice cream or vice versa. But you get both of them because sometimes you like both of them at the same time.
I feel like we have something.
Say what you want. You're often extraordinarily
I'm an
vague.
excellent
Yeah.
bushy
You will
tail.
say, I want a better game. I want a better AI. I want a better UI. Yeah, I'll just slide the better slider from okay to great
The battle
on all of
starts in
them.
5.
I have an
4,
entire video
3,
on...
I
2,
remember
1.
when
All
he
you need
said
to
that,
do
it
is
just
capture the
reminded me of my
mission
old
area.
build leader
Got it?
whenever we were doing Star Civilian, 3 Drakes, and Wrath. He says, okay, everybody, open up your menu, go to configuration, go to interface, and I want you to find the button that says shit at the game and make sure that it's unchecked.
Pentagram of Farah.
I'll give you just right now.
why developers use context to your feedback. That's never more true than when you give feedback. When you give, especially context, if you don't see what you're talking about, it can be really vague. For example, what does better for you mean in the game? Or when you say, how is that
The
AI
Sorcerer
bad?
Supreme
What are you talking
lives
about?
once more.
What are they not taking cover? Are they just running straight at you shooting? What do you mean? When you say you don't like a UI, what is the friction point in that UI? What is it that's bothering you?
Kaplan said it best, where he said that you can't rely on players to give you a solution, but you can sure as hell rely on them to tell you when there's a problem.
The moon haunts you.
And I think that's always the issue that a lot of game devs have, is that they have to effectively translate this sucks into like actionable behavior.
Say that UI is dumb. It's not helping. Trust me. It's not just gamers who do this. I've worked with people who really said that out of their mouth. They're like, that looks dumb. Great, I'll get right on that. Sometimes though,
Judge, jury, executioner.
some UI
This is real firepower.
videos on the cover where
Behold the god of thunder.
if your game supports encumbrance, you take encumbrance out, and suddenly that same UI is carried. And suddenly there's a lot more things in their inventory. And the UI you use for a limited inventory doesn't work for a UI with an unlimited inventory.
See, this is what I was saying before about how like some game devs and people that are really like this guy made Fallout, right? Like there's some guys and like people rising into that understand like these second order effects of like changes and like mechanics in video games, and that's why they make video games that go on to sell like millions of copies for, you know, decades. And this is the same type of insight for people that like made classic WoW or like, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 or, you know, Elden Ring. They're all the same. This is a smart way to look at it.
So that's do you really hate that UI? Or do you hate vacuum up everything? And or do you want to be able to vacuum up everything because you just wish the game would somehow organize it better? Be specific. Here's the one that really gets me, and that many of you refuse to acknowledge. You all,
So this is us. We are the ones who are wrong.
You all
Down to 30 seconds.
do not
By the eye of Agamotto!
feature is. Go back and watch both of my encumbrance videos. They're linked below.
doctor is
Or watch
in.
the video I had on fast travel. Or even the video I did on providing game difficulty, different options in there. Read the comments on it, which I know
By the way, encumbrance is bad if it makes you spend more time managing inventory than playing the game. Game difficulty modes are bad, and they should be enabled through different types of gameplay, like things like Battle Armor and Dark Souls 1. And I forgot the other one that you mentioned, but yeah, those are the correct answers and the right opinions to have. Oh, fast travel? Fast travel is sometimes good and sometimes bad. It's usually good, but sometimes bad. Wrong difficulties are great. No, they're not. They're bad. That's the wrong opinion.
a lot of you don't do, and you complain that YouTube doesn't do a good job of sorting them.
It's just not the right
one
way
of
to
those
look at it.
videos, set it to show all the comments, and scroll for a few minutes. You will find that some of you literally say you will not play a game that is lacking a particular feature,
While you play that game.
and then keep scrolling, and you'll find people who hate games that have that feature.
Oh, yeah, that
And
too.
it can be anything: fast travel, VO, walls of text,
Yeah.
story mode. Some of you require it, and some of you skip games that have it, and you have reasons for doing it. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I think that really the issue too is like he's bringing up a lot of good points is that you can't make everybody happy. This is one of the big issues that I think AAA development has, is that they have development budgets that are so big that they strive to make everyone happy because they need to have a target audience that's that big in order to like theoretically generate a profit. And because of that, that's why they end up making flaccid, boring games. It's because they try to just give everybody everything and then also implement everything that everybody wants, and it's just a bad game ultimately. So I think that's what ends up happening, is that you have them that they're listening to everything and there's no way that you can solve that problem.
What I am saying is there is no possible way to make a game that will make all of you happy.
Yeah, exactly. He's right.
What's interesting to me, and this channel has made me really acknowledge it, you don't even agree on the fact that all of you are disagreeing. Some of you don't acknowledge there are any other game players out there. There was a video I did where I said,
Well, I was the same way. Like, when I found out, so, like, I remember whenever I was a kid, I assumed that girls didn't really play video games because they're just not good at video games. And, I mean, when you're 11 years old, I feel like that's a pretty default opinion, right? And, like, the ones that did play video games were bad. And so, like when I saw how popular like Animal Crossing was and Pokemon was with girls, I remember there was this one girl in high school that played Pokemon, and I thought she was a Pokemon. I was like, holy fuck! I didn't even know this was real. I was shocked.
people frequently want better graphics. A lot of you ask for better graphics. And someone said, and I quote, "No one asked for better graphics." I guess you never read a review and you don't go on any forum boards. Because yes, they do. And keep in mind, better graphics, sometimes they're just talking about they want a higher resolution. They bought a 4K monitor and they're upset with not getting a game in 4K. Sometimes they want a farther view distance. They're upset that it clips really well. Or that there's always things blocking their view. They don't get a nice wide view of anything. Sometimes they just mean more creature variety or more location variety. These are all better graphics. These are all things that require a lot more art time, a lot more things to be loaded in, a lot better optimization of your engine. These are all going into the category of better graphics. All of you, I guarantee, have asked for some form of better graphics at some point when you're responding to a question of what did you like and dislike about this game.
I think also, like, that's definitely true. And a lot of people
keep in mind, too, sometimes you gotta talk about art style.
Yeah, it's art style, really. It's art style and, like, shading and colors, and that's really what people are thinking about when they say graphics. I think a lot of people distill graphics down to just meaning fidelity. And I feel like that's only one small piece of the pie.
But everything I just mentioned, even if the art style stays the same, you will need more polys, more textures, more everything, just to give you more feature or more location variants. means quality is better graphics. That means more work, more artists, more time, more money. And many of you say, well, I don't really care about graphics. I'm one of you. Graphics have never been high on my list of what I care about in a game. But many players are attracted to a game by its pretty graphics. Even if they say afterwards
That's true. Graphics are really good. First impression selling point. Like, people will look at a game that looks really good. Like, for example, that Dawnwalker game yesterday looked crazy good, right? And they'll be like, oh,
I have a-
and I do think, like, if you have a low-quality game like that with bad graphics, that's how Genshin did so well. He was like, shit. Well, it did, yeah, it looked really, really good. And that's also, like, art direction and, like, graphical style, too. More so than anything else specifically. Throne of Liberty sucked me in with its graphics, but the gameplay and the play sucks. See, to me, it was the same way. Like, Throne of Liberty was a game
By the
that
eye of Agamotto!
the style was kind of mediocre, but the fidelity of the game was really good. It's just that the gameplay was flawless.
graphics open the I've told some designers on me, sometimes it's like
Mortal
dating.
pain is no
Your head may
match
be
for the
turned by the
sorceress.
prettiness,
I'm opening a portal.
but you stay because of the personality and the chemistry.
Well,
so it's like that with games. Make a pretty game.
shortcut
More people
to
will
space.
put their eyeballs on you. Then mistake is the mechanics. And then later on, there's an eye ever even looking at your game.
I've tagged him.
One of the things I want to point out is many of you argue against things that would make a game that tries to provide more things. And I talked about how design by committee is bad. I agree with you. And usually that leads to making a game that's so bland and that no one
The
can
sorcerer
really have
supreme
an
returns.
argument against it, but nobody really feels like
They hit
playing
a
it.
checkpoint.
What I mean by that
Might
is
be a
many
good
of
time to
you
stop them.
literally have argued that games should have fewer game options. I'm not even talking about game difficulty. Just fewer game options. Either video
I am
on game options and below. Again, read those comments. Many of you are going, yeah, I hate games a lot. I don't know what you said. The designers did
Does
this.
magic.
Why are they making me do that? That means they didn't have a strong vision. Not ignoring the fact that many of those operators
This is the best one, guys.
people play the game. I know that's a disability. There are games I literally cannot play because they have
By the eye of Agamotto!
that's color-based. There are no colorblind games. The worst ones of these are ones that don't say front of the
Yeah.
and then later I'm
By
playing
the
games
eye of
where
Agamotto!
I've encountered puzzles that I literally cannot solve.
Yeah.
And there's no option.
That's accessibility.
Maximum
The accessibility discussion in video games is for people
One
to
couldn't
view
win without
disabled
help.
gamers as retards. Where like if you're a disabled person, maybe your arm doesn't fucking work. But that doesn't mean that you're an idiot. It doesn't mean you don't want to be challenged. So figure out a way for that person to play the game
By
with
the
one fucking
shades
arm.
of the seraphim, I return.
So, and the issue I think happens a lot where you have video games that their idea of accessibility is making the game so piss easy that it doesn't matter what you do wrong. You can flip and flop and flail around for 5 minutes, but if you get 3 hits on the boss, it's dead. Well, that doesn't really sound like a very compelling and rewarding experience, does it?
So let me sum up, because I've been ranting for a while. I get that you, individuals, want what you individuals want. But you have to realize that you, the individuals, are not very good at giving developers feedback, and that you, the individual, are not everybody the game is being made for. Many of you aren't even in the majority, and I hear you. I don't think I'm in the majority. I like a lot of niche games. I've made a lot of niche games.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm saying here. Is game development is hard on its own, technically. But this lack of consensus among game players about what they want takes...
I think that what they should
Enemy
do
in
is
front
they
of
should
us.
make Dark Souls 1
Good
again
medicine.
all the time. Like, basically everything that Dark Souls 1 did, just do that again.
Here is an enemy. Only 60
It's
seconds
really
left.
simple. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, really, I mean, people try to overcomplicate it.
Anyone willing to help?
Yeah.
You're back.
That much make the game
Against the world.
that you want to have a lot of say in, because most of you don't know what you want. Those
Guys,
of
behind,
you
behind,
do
guys.
know what you want are very
By the eye of
and
Agamotto!
many of you don't realize that what you want isn't what you want. This is why, for most of my career, I made what I like. I hoped other people would like it, but it was me and the team just trying to make it right. And we were like, yeah, we were like, we weren't sure, we didn't care, and the marketing would ask us questions like, what's the demographic for your game? We didn't know, we didn't have an answer, and we didn't even care. We're like, I don't know. Why don't you go home and play the game? Who would like that?
Makes sense.
Many of you like my earlier games.
0,
Maybe it's because
2,
I did make them
1.
in a vacuum like that, and I wasn't thinking what people
Time to
thought.
switch things up.
I think that
However, I
it's
can tell
definitely
you,
true.
Which side you're on.
Yeah, like other, like newer games, it does seem like a lot of
You'll need
times
a
they're designed
top-notch
for a
team to
target
win
audience.
this one.
Open
And I think that
your
it's good
eyes.
to design for a target
Reality
audience,
is but
but
an illusion.
I feel like a lot of the best games are the ones that devs make for themselves. Like, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is a really good example of that. So yeah, it's definitely true. The vision, yeah, it's like people need to have like their own internal vision.
Your game sold more copies. So what's the right path? I don't know. But I can tell you this. Do game developers know what game players want?
Round
No.
2.
There it is. Yeah, I'll tell you that. I could have told you that automatically. Like, that was a fact. Like, a lot of players, the reason why they have trouble being able to figure out what people want,
30 seconds before you attack.
it's actually super
Get
simple,
ready.
right? And like you're 1,000% right. Yeah, it's like you have to target like. I think it's well, for AAA games. I think the main reason is actually super simple. It's because they try to design it for too many groups of people, and you can't end up making all of those groups of people happy. You can make some of them happy some of the time, but you can't make all of them happy all of the time.
3.
And what
2,
ends up happening is that you have games made like Suicide Squad, like Dragon Age Vanguard, like Starfield. And I mean, the woke stuff is like kind of irrelevant, really. Like, you take out all the woke stuff at Dragon Age, and the game's still kind of bland, right? Same thing with Suicide Squad. So, like, in Concord, right, even. And so, like, these things are maybe mining canaries, but they're really not, they're not the real problem. And so, I think the main issue is that games that are designed for everybody end up appealing to nobody. And that's why when you see small development studios that just make games that they think will be really fun and that they think people will like or that they like, that's whenever you see things really go wrong, I would say, more than anything. One of the big problems is games are being made mainly for adults instead of children and teens. For example, Nintendo targets children and teens and it has the least unhappy fans. The only thing that Nintendo fans complain about is lack of releases, perhaps I'm blinded by nostalgia. I think that Nintendo definitely has more of a target audience, and they have more of like consistent, like a continuous, consistent strategy. And I think that that's caused them to have a lot of success, definitely. So you know games are for kids and teens? Well, some of them are, some of them aren't, right? I mean, you have a game for Grand Theft Auto, you have your kids play that. Maybe that's not the best decision, right? Or something else. Vampire Stars is an example of a good game made by a developer just to have fun and it ended up great. Yeah, I think so too. Children deserve really good content too. Yeah, I think so also. And so what ends up happening, I feel like a lot of games that get developed, and they end up, I'll leave you guys the video, this was a good video. And he's right that a lot of players want different things, and I think that developers fail when they try to just go with the thing that the most people want, rather than going with the thing that fits the vision of the game in the best way and the most comprehensive way. And I think that's a big mistake of what happens, right? It definitely is. The Acolyte has caused Star Wars fandom to plunge into civil war. We're now in a time where journalism no longer means what it used to. All integrity is lost. What the fuck is going on? Disney Defenders wrote a whole thing to YouTubers trying to get them deplatformed from YouTube because they didn't like the Acolyte. They coordinated a campaign against them.
feel like I'm being watched.
Maximum pulse!
Fucking thing that I've seen happen nowadays with like media is that anytime a person criticizes another person, that other person will get harassed. If I criticize somebody's actions, they will get harassed. It will happen, guaranteed. I promise you. And if somebody criticizes me, I will get harassed because of that criticism. To say that you can't criticize people because then they get harassed is to say that you cannot critically evaluate any person at all, which is ridiculous. It's very obvious when you're talking about a person who is enabling and encouraging legitimate harassment versus somebody who is just simply being critical of an action that you took. There have been a lot of times that I've made videos about people and they've been harassed because of the videos I made. I'm not sorry for a single fucking one of them, and I would do it again, and I will. Because I'm not making the videos for those people who get harassed. I'm criticizing them because I think they're doing something wrong, or I disagree with what they're saying. And if they make
By the eye of Agamotto!
do you remember that guy that made the tweet about how I had reacted to his video and he didn't like it and that I DM'd him, I took down the video? Well, when I did that, a lot of people asked me over that tweet. Is that his fault? Because he didn't tell people to harass him. He didn't push for that. He didn't do anything. It's not his fault at all. So, and I'm not mad at him. That's his opinion. Monster and Michael. Yeah, exactly. That girl got harassed because I criticized him. That's the thing. Creators are not responsible for their audience. You are never responsible for the actions of another person. Like, unless you're paying them or telling them to do it, then you're not responsible for what they're doing. Yeah, but on the internet, it's framed by me. It seems all the mass death threats and my attempts to deplatform myself from Molly and others where he advocates for in the Forbes article. Where is he advocating for this? They ask us to denounce this, to blame us to control millions of people, yet they're silent when it happens to us.
Maximum pulse!
By
the eye of Agamotto!
That's on them. Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, if you're inciting people and telling people to do something, then yeah, you have responsibility for that. Everybody knows that. But when you're just criticizing a person and saying what they're doing is wrong, then you're not at fault when that person gets harassed. I think this is just like every normal person knows this, right? Like, it was a nuance that I didn't think that we'd have to get into because most people here are adults, but yes, that's clearly the obvious difference. Glad defame me. Present my legal team. Video exposes lies. Okay. What's this? Maybe someday these bullies will take accountability for the harassment. The only thing that was wrong that I think that anybody did is asking for people like Star Wars Theory to be deplatformed. Right? Critical Thinker, Critical Drinker, excuse me, Nerdrotic, like Star Wars Theory, you know, the Axis of Evil, you know, for like the Acolyte enjoyers. These people should have never, they should not be deplatformed. They have every right to have whatever opinion they want. Like, it's insane that this is even a topic.
I saw someone say, is this your Sith era theory? And I'm like,
yeah.
When did it become okay to constantly berate someone for years, and then if you answer back, that's Sith era? No, that's just standing up for yourself, or replying. That's literally all it is. You know, if you're provoked, I think it's fair game to be able to say your piece back. So anyways, that's what I did in the recent video. Essentially just talking about Clone Wars returning in live action, which I think would be pretty dope. But of course,
yeah, what's the problem?
This guy, the Forbes guy, Paul Tassi, goes ahead and makes another tweet. Use incognito mode for porn. I use it to check on channels that make videos about me that I do not want in my algorithm. Well, thanks.
Is this problematic? What's wrong with that? He doesn't like you. Obviously, he doesn't like you.
For the view, man, and his comments are just, well, they speak for themselves. Anyway.
It's admittedly funny. What is this say again? Less people funny putting whiny aggressive comments on family photos on my Instagram every time this happens.
The time entanglement is a vexing
Yeah,
problem.
this is stupid.
30 seconds before you attack.
Like, obviously,
Get ready.
if somebody makes it, like, if you post a public article,
This is not
you
how I
have
was
to
expecting
accept
this day to
that
play
people
out.
are going to criticize and talk about that article.
I just hope we can get
That's
this
just what's
wrapped
gonna
up
happen.
soon. You know, I have plans.
Unless he's telling people to harass you, and if he is, you should report him to YouTube and get him banned. It's
The
that
battle
simple,
starts in
right? No
5,
shot. Yeah, it's that simple.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Can't handle it, leave. Well, the
All
thing
you
is
need
that
to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
it's weird because I think that Star Wars Theory is being kind of melodramatic about this, but I also think that Paul Tassi is being unreasonable as well by saying that he's being harassed and he's trying to connect like negative comments on like family photos on his Instagram, like as if Star Wars Theory supports this, right? And that's the issue. It's the implication that in any universe he supports this.
Anyway, that video was an opener to the real video, which, aside from all familiar with, so this is, I would say, part of the fun. I would say essentially this is kind of where all of this rhetoric comes to when it comes to trying to deplatform people, which is
Where's deplatforming?
Castle went down fighting.
True, but let's see it.
But this kind of journalism is really what is getting the narrative for the weak-minded people who just kind of follow. And I believe that this is, it's just not helpful. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in this kind of journalism, which we're going to get into right here.
And I think that he's right about that there is a lot of gatekeeping of things like this that happen, where like people think that you're not allowed to have certain opinions about like shows. Like you saw that with The Witcher, you saw that with the Star Wars Acolyte. It's very common.
It just needs to stop.
Behold the God of Thunder!
More than open mind, or are it so set in one section of fandom, rarely see things from maybe a little bit more of a logical and reasonable perspective.
Is there some context you're missing? What am I missing? Do they contact YouTube platforming? Star Wars Explained tries to demonetize Star Wars Theory. Is this it?
And I know Alex is behind all this, but he's just such a sackless guy that he just. Oh, I see that they've
Dear
lumped
Team
with some of my colleagues and friends online to have their channels demonetized and essentially sent and it took me almost 2 years to get there. Really, the best thing.
More tentacles.
I really like, yeah, getting people demonetized was bad, and YouTube said they're not going to do it, and that's a good thing. But what does this have to do with Paul Tassi? I'm not seeing him tweet about this at all. He's not talking about this anymore. So he came in later, well then where is it? Because like if you're getting mad at one guy because you're getting harassed by this group of people, I don't see it. He does? Well, where is it? The end of the first video you watched? Okay. Let's take a
Magic
look
is
at
not
it.
to
They
be
have a certain
owned,
outlook of
but to
something.
be felt.
So on September 9th, Paul Tassi released an article called "The Acolyte Has Caused Star Wars Fandom to Plunge into Civil War," which, yeah, I think that's kind of accurate in a sense.
30
However,
seconds before
he
you
goes on to
attack.
mention me
Get ready.
and several other YouTubers as well, and he really writes in his article
This
that
is not
I
how I
and
was
many others
expecting
should
this
be
day to play out.
deplatformed and
Never dull moment for
demonetized.
our crew, eh, Quill?
Where?
I just hope we can get this wrapped up soon.
The saga of Acolyte is well
I have
known at this
plans.
point. The show is little
You
watched, but
made a
developed a
plan.
core base of fans who really liked it.
This is the first time
From
for
its
everything.
representation to its villain, the YouTubers in question
battle starts
devoted
in 5,
dozens, if not hundreds, of
4,
videos to tearing down the
3,
show and everyone
2,
associated with it every
1.
week, which has led not
All you
just
need
to
to do
punish
is
back
capture
from
the
Acolyte
mission
fans,
area.
but stars
Got
like
it?
Amanda Steinberg. Then the show was canceled. So you can't criticize the show?
Other YouTubers. Wait, what? He really writes in his article that
Now we enter the current phase, which when members of the Star Wars community in support of shows like The Acolyte and its actors by the eye of Agamotto, Star Wars channels being monetized with examples of what they believe was racist and harassment in their videos, which should bring into the surface. That's what happened.
platform
Yeah.
monetized because of our point of view of Star Wars. So, anyways, let's go ahead and check this out and read this, because I want to bring light to this. I don't think this is acceptable behavior. I don't think, you know, for a publication such as Forbes, I don't think this is respectful. I don't think it's insightful. And I think it's malicious. You think the drama of the Accolade is over? Think again. As now what has been arguments about content of the show has progressed into a full-on civil war in the Star Wars fandom community. The two parties are fans that appreciate shows like the Acolyte and did not appreciate what seems to be a coordinated, relentless assault on the show and their subscribers. Where's the evidence from the subscribers? Where's the evidence that all of these subscribers are sending attacks to the actors or the actresses or the
Maximum!
Where is that information? I need that info. They are to demonetize many of those films which they believe are racist.
Behold the God of Thunder!
I don't think that Paul Tassie's in the wrong yet. He's simply writing an article describing the situation. He's basically saying this is happening.
Good medicine.
Captured more than half
Am I retarded? No, I'm not retarded. I look at what I read and I make a decision about it.
More tentacles than Gargantos himself.
He's putting spin on it? Yeah, a bit he's putting spin on it. You could say that. But there's nothing that's been said here that is inaccurate or blatantly misleading.
Hate the show for normal reasons. It's well known. The show was little watched but developed core base fans who really liked it, ranging from its representation to this that liked it. Since they liked it for that primary reason, then of course everyone has to have liked it for that reason too, and if they didn't, then they're going against that representation, and therefore they're racist. So I would even argue that the people who are saying such things are only seeing the depth of the show, or only showing interest in the show because there is representation. I would argue that
there's still nothing wrong with this paragraph. He's saying that there are some people that like the show because it had a black lead actress. That's guaranteed true. There's still nothing wrong.
The people who
All those
are
crises
so
I quietly put out,
the show would love it just as much as if everybody was white. I guarantee you, the people who love the show, I do not think they would like it as much or nearly at all if all of the cast members were white. And to me, I say, I don't care if they're purple. I don't care what color they are. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Black, gay, straight, trans. I don't care. You do what you want. Just make a cool story, cool characters, and that's it. Well written. I couldn't care less about what they do outside of that. Split from the Skywalker saga for several hundred years. The YouTubers in question devoted dozens, if not hundreds, of videos dedicated to tearing down the show and everyone associated with it each and every week, which led to not just pushback from Acolyte fans, but stars like Amanda Stenberg publicly talking about the racism she experienced. And look, like I said this a million times.
Well, this is what happens with anything. Like, it's the same as if you criticize any person, people are going to bring their race and their identity into the criticism. If you criticize somebody that's gay,
break it.
If you criticize somebody that's black, or call them the internet. This is just the way it is. Like, that's just the way the internet is. It doesn't mean it's his home. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't even, I can't even imagine thinking like this. How are you not allowed to criticize the show, bro? Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, and it is, like, this paragraph is very much...
The mystic arts won't fail me again. I'm opening a portal.
Basically, the article is built on the foundation that they're getting reported because they're saying that they're experiencing racism, and then now it's
by the eye of Agamotto. Maximum!
Yeah, I do think that there is obviously a spin on this article to make the guys who are making these videos like Star Wars look bad. It is. Like, I do think that now at this point, because you talked about alleged and now you're talking about the actual stuff, and any normal reader that's reading this will logically go from point A to point B. Criticism is not racism? Yes, but let's not be delusional here. She absolutely experienced racism. Without a doubt. Do you really think that not a single person said racist things to her? Guaranteed this happened. Oh, 100%. But that still doesn't make the people that were criticizing the show at fault.
There are so many people that are racist, bigots, homophobic, and all that. But I feel like it's a very small minority. And to take a magnifying glass and large and blow it up against the majority of people.
Somebody says she is racist, though?
Okay.
Then they're both racist. If you're racist to somebody that's racist, you're still racist. Like, yeah, she is. Wow, okay, true.
Really irresponsible to do, especially as a journalist. I think if we're going to really look at something from a objective point of view, we have to really see it for what it is. Okay, there are shitty people everywhere, all over the world. You run into them every day, I run into them every day. There's also very nice people in this. Am I to say that because one person I met is shitty or 2 people out of 100 I met is
Against the world. That's the way a lot of them. That's how a lot of people are racist. Most people I think are racist because they had a bad interaction with a person of that race. And then they just blame everybody of that race for the same thing.
It's just, yeah, that's how life works.
First text thread, but the things I've been saying the past few days are constantly disgusting. I have no respect for this part of the community or those that cultivate it and excuse one pathetic. Yeah, I mean, like harassing somebody and sending them messages that are hostile. It's pretty simple, right? Like if you do that, you should get banned. Like if you're threatening somebody online, you should get banned. Like it's not even like it's not even a question. Like there's no conversation where nobody's disagreeing with them.
Unfortunately. Now, Amanda Thunberg took that and essentially said the
By the eye of Agamotto!
is racist, bigot. I mean, that to me, that's also extremely irresponsible position. And she is representing she is representing Ed Linden. Nobody else is right. Nobody can stand for that. You go for it.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
What is this? And so we have these articles going, this is a publication board. Also,
I've got to draw attention to this. You can't do this in my chat. Why are you doing this?
There's a lot of Jew haters. Adolf's been making a big comeback recently. He's been making a very, very big comeback. I've been seeing it on Twitter. Yeah, like, there's been a lot of it. Anyway, let's move on.
Same kind of bullshit. I think this is seriously a massive red flag. It's a form of brainwashing in a sense where if people don't understand or don't see that these people are racist.
Yeah.
My God. Nice. Racist people are racist. 3 in a row. That's not the majority of everybody. For example, I don't want to make it about me, but
this is what happens a lot, is that one person says something that's bad. Like, let's say you have a group of 100 people, and then one person does something bad, and then the entire group gets categorized as being bad. This is a very common tactic that's used in journalism in order to paint dissenters as bad people.
the death threats and stuff that were thrown at me that you guys saw on Twitter, on X, horrible things that were said that I even showed in some videos, that all comes from that side of the fandom who loves the Acolyte. Am I therefore to say that everyone that loves the Acolyte is a disgusting piece of shit who wants to wish me death in the most gruesome, horrible, weird, psycho ways? No, those are just a few bad apples that are psychotic.
Who cares?
That's the internet, that's life, that's people. Then the show was canceled.
True.
Given that Disney is, well, Disney, the decision likely came down to mainly an absurdly high cost, which was very much Disney's fault, and low viewership. though many, including no, it had nothing to do with the high cost. They'll pay up the nose for anything that they want, as long
Well, the show cost a lot of money because it didn't make a lot of money.
You'll need a top-notch
Something
team
costs
to
a
win
lot
this
of money.
one.
Like, for example, if you spend $100
Reality is
and then you
but
make
an illusion.
$80, that cost 80. Or sorry, if you spend $100 and you make $20, well, then you just lost $80. That's a lot of money. But if you spend $100 and you make $300, then you didn't spend a lot of money. It's entirely contextualized around, is the number up or down? It's not about the amount of money spent. Like, what do you think? Think about how much money they spent on Game of Thrones. But the reason why they did that was because the show was really good.
Supreme, I oversee other magical
because it gets the
doesn't
views,
know
as long
this?
as it gets the money. That's really, at the end of the day, all it is. So, you know, this
30
thing could
seconds
have
before
cost
you attack.
freaking 100
Get
million.
ready.
It still wouldn't have been enough for them to renew it for a second
You're
season.
not a
And low
symbiote.
viewership, though
yet.
many, including
how did
some
you
of the
end up
cast,
here?
credited the racism and harassment and felt it gave a win to
Nothing
toxic
here.
parts of the fandom.
Suspicious.
Now-
It did. And so what you see here is, I actually do think that Paul is engaging
The
in a
battle starts in
form of
5,
subversion
4,
here. Because
3,
he initially
2,
introduced
1.
what the conflict
need to do
was
is capture
as
the mission area.
accusations of
Got it?
racism and harassment.
They say
And
that
he
music
used
brings
it
the world together.
specifically accusations
now,
of,
I think we
oh,
need
well,
superheroes
people
for
claim
that.
this is happening. And now, halfway through the article,
Enemy in front of us.
the racism and harassment is now codified and it is established. So what that does to the reader is that it causes the reader to passively assume that that side that was alleging these things was in fact correct. It's persuasive writing that's hard to pick up on unless you can see it. Except allegations is reality. Well, it starts as an allegation. It's introduced as an allegation, but then later on it's referred to as a fact. And so it gets people to let their guard down as if they're reading an unbiased perspective of something, and then the perception changes because it's distorted. And the problem is that I'm sure Paul would say this is what happened. And he's right that that's what happened. But if you're not intentionally trying to separate the people who are racist or harassers from the people that just don't like the show, then I think that you are
Sorcerer Supreme,
intentionally
I'm opening a
painting them in a
portal.
bad light. And it's being done on purpose.
Enter the current phase, which when
Pentagram
members
of
of the Star Wars
Horror.
community in support of shows like The Acolyte and its actors banded together so that these mechanical specific shows monetized with
And you see how de-racism, what they believe is racism. And you see how this messaging happens. This is a very big problem for him. It's a core problem because Paul is a smart guy. I like Paul Cassidy. But I think that he's obviously engaging in subversion.
The mystic arts
And-
won't fail me again.
The problem is that a lot of people are not proficient in English enough to be able to pick up on it. You like it? Yeah, no, I've read a number of things that he's written that I've agreed with, and I think that he's had good takes on things before. This isn't one of them. I disagree with this. I don't hate the guy. No, I just am disagreeing with what he's saying
Enemies are near.
in this article.
of what they believe was racism and harassment in their videos, which should be against YouTube's terms of service. But clearly, it wasn't, since YouTube said that this does not.
These mechanical arachnids are no more.
This is a
By the eye of Agamotto!
is that basically all of the internet Karens that were upset that they couldn't watch The Acolyte Season 2 got together and wrote like a letter to YouTube asking for these people to be demonetized, and then YouTube said, yeah, we looked it up and there's nothing wrong with it. Shut the fuck up and leave us alone. Which was an absolute W for YouTube.
Well, the concept was met with an immediate reply 15 minutes later from YouTube, that reviewed the video in question and found that it was not in violation and no action was taken. This was celebrated immediately by the targeted YouTubers in question. Though further investigation reveals that it was a pretty generic bot message, which has been used hundreds of times before, and there is no evidence that YouTube took out what was last for more than a few minutes.
By the
Incorrect. So what he does, Paul Lambert does, is he looks at the reply which was sent a day after this was actually created. This was actually sent on September 4th. Check out the clip. And then they replied on the 5th. They said, thanks for reaching out. We're back. This content is not violated and will remain up. We totally understand you may not agree with this decision, but we reviewed this video very carefully against our policy.
Yeah, they huge YouTube W, by the way. Massive YouTube W.
Replied the day before this, and they said, we're going to check it out. Could you please send a link of all of the videos?
So they followed, so basically the entire idea that it was done by a bot seems like it's not true. Yeah.
And Molly Damon,
Paul's saying that it was done by a bot to discredit it. He is. I don't know if it's to discredit it, to be fair, but I do think that's what happened. Yes.
went YouTube trade and make sure that he freaking tries to rat every single person out on that list.
And these people, I want you guys to see that they are the internet Karens. These people are absolutely the internet Karens. They are the ones that are complaining to the manager. They're the ones that want their food sent back because it's too cold. They're the ones that are getting mad because the barista spelled their name wrong.
That's right. That's too. The Karens, they are. And I sound like a broken record, but man, you don't understand. Imagine you were so freaking hard, and someone just wants to take that away from you because of wrong things, because you don't agree with them on a freaking show. So,
well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take a moral high ground to make YouTube feel like they are morally obligated to shut down competitors, because what they're going to do is now they're going to paint YouTube as enabling racism.
Patch you up.
That's what they do.
Right is writing on your channel, trying to say that this is an automated response within a few minutes. Incorrect. It's a response in a few minutes, 1 2 days after having checked everything out. Yeah, only you guys like that for the Star Wars experience. Everybody else has been supporting it with the attacks.
By the eye of Agamotto!
There's just a bunch of they're the top of it, yeah. Racist. They don't actually do it.
Come on, it's the second solution scheme used by game journalists for Black and Wrong. Yeah. I hope that a lot of people, like, now that we've gone through a lot of these topics so far, a lot of people are starting to realize and pick up on these patterns and these techniques that journalistic outlets use in order to maintain hegemony over the mainstream. It's been very problematic, and, like, I noticed it a lot. Like, I have kind of a personal vendetta against them, because I remember noticing it whenever I was a teenager, like after 9/11. I was like, wow, this really seems like super biased. Wait a minute, like, he didn't say that. Like, why are they writing about this? And, like, I saw it happen with Obama. I saw it happen with Ron Paul. It happened with Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump. It's happened with a lot of people that have been outsiders or that have not had the right opinion. It even happened a little bit with John Kerry in 2004. I was born in 2014 then, so I got to remember how like very good memory of it. But I do remember how the way that it was represented was purely asymmetrical. And I've always really disliked this. And the reason why I dislike it is that it is
By the eye of Agamotto!
but it's also I think the reason why I dislike it is because it works. To be honest, that's why it makes me mad, is that this strategy works. And the reason why it works is because people are not...
The current score is 3.
They're not like,
0.
I don't know, like they can't
Time to
read,
switch
basically.
things
Like
up,
I could say
including
something that's
which
more
side you're on.
sophisticated, but let's be real. They can't fucking read,
Open
and they
your
don't see
eyes.
what's happening.
Reality is
So I
but an
have a very
illusion.
personal
The
vendetta
right heroes
against
can
this,
make
and I've had
all the
it
difference.
for a very long time.
This thing, if you got it.
Man, It's your average Twitter user complaining about the group of people that they don't like that's responsible for every bad thing that's happened in their life that they are coincidentally not responsible for at all.
Though further investigation reveals that this is a pretty generic YouTube auto message, which has been used hundreds of... Is this... That's just because that'll help you sleep at night, right?
Well, it's very clear if you could tell whether it was a YouTube automated message, right? Because if it was an automated YouTube message, you could copy-paste the message and then expect to see a copy-paste of that message that's been repeated multiple times. But that's not what happened. So it's very obviously not a copy-paste automated message because all automated messages are written the same.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Just by any sort of logical investigation, you would come to this conclusion instantaneously. That's a good one to do.
And there's no evidence that YouTube took the quite elaborate movement seriously for more than a few minutes. They spent the full day, and then they got back to you and said that there's nothing that violates terms of service. What do you want? Why are you lying?
You better get us behind.
Or did you present an investigation? How do you... What are you, Team YouTube? Why don't you just beat yourself?
I am straight
The box breaking a video, and what video that was is clear. You're making stuff up. Take the L, move on, write your other articles in Forbes.
I do think that Paul is giving he's not giving a very good analysis of what happened from YouTube. That this is correct. It's undeniable. This is not a good analysis if you don't take into consideration the fact that it was sent to YouTube and YouTube responded to it the day before. Yeah, it's not even good.
Taking the company to more and more space. But hey,
yeah,
give me something to talk about. So that's great. Thanks, pal. Maybe it's time to now turn the tide. That level of production is not very good. This guy's still going on. Don't take over his voice. Go.
That lack of abruptness and due diligence is very corrupt. So this is, again, this is basically this is like kind of basically you create a narrative by saying that YouTube did it with a bot, and then the lack of diligence is not very surprising, implies that there is a malpractice that's being done, right? That this is somehow like a wrongdoing that is happening. You see, this is a little bit curious, and this is how it happened. It's a false narrative? Yes, exactly. And so, like, basically, you assert a possibility, and then based on that possibility being true, that causes readers to passively accept that the assertion that you made is the truth. That's how this works.
Black actor's Instagram that they want the actor like doing medical professionals.
Mighty Eye of Agamotto! I am strengthened.
One random ends the message. The YouTuber side of this escalated thanks to Star Wars theme.
That's this guy. That's him.
Only 60 seconds left.
All right.
The largest Star Wars fan has been the frequent centerpiece of what is viewed as a toxic part of the fandom. Really? Please tell me what it is I do. Because I just call out what I think isn't really
and this is another term that's used. It's like a, you know, like it's weasel language, right? Where it's like has been viewed. Well, of course, somebody has viewed him like
Nothing
that.
here.
This is like that one guy that would call every white person a suspected white supremacist. Like Tariq. It's like terms like this by who. So you are basically like you're creating an argument to authority. Because, or an argument to like normalcy, I guess, that this person is being viewed as bad, but there's no actual like evidence of this. There's no quantification of this. It's just known. And And this is exactly what happened with Black Myth Wukong. And this is also what's happened with other games as well, like Stellar Blade. Misinformation and accusations are assumed and never quantified.
And that's it. So if that's toxic, then I guess you want everyone to have a gag order unless they're aligned with your beliefs. That, I think, is that's a dictatorship.
Mortal
Here we also
pain is
constantly
no
bash
match
the
for the
Acolyte
Sorcerer
as usual. It's
Supreme.
the bad writing and complaint. We are it. Please tell me how it didn't. Please tell me how the Acolyte was good writing and it didn't break canon. I'd love for you to explain this in your
Disappear! We must get to
Though
safety.
it's a long time of him moving on from focused Star Wars lore.
Your powers are mine!
Much of what this should do. We see when he grew up and he loved and speaking full strength. Understand it as in don't like it being called racist. And then that's when your attention taken away from you because you don't like that those
Might be a good time to
things
stop
to
that.
you. I guess that is what I'm doing. Yeah, it's quite a long pattern.
I
think
have
speaking about
unfinished
how
business
race is
here.
lore, I mean, you're kind of contradicting yourself. You're talking about how I'm talking about how
I'm
it's bad
opening a
writing
portal.
for Star Wars, which I explain, and it breaks canon.
Well, you're quoting what it said, what he said, and the quote is meant to. The way he's quoting it in this
Someone
sentence,
scratch my back.
the quote is meant to demean the statement, and that's why it says claims afterwards. Although it's a long
the
passage,
eye of Agamotto!
right? Like this entire sentence is created with the intention of basically delegitimizing these damages by saying that he's moved on from war discussion and delegitimizing what he doesn't like about the video.
How is that related to focused Star Wars lore?
Patch you up.
Yeah.
Things across the line by trying to get these channels. Let's not forget, Alex Molly has been.
I do think that he's right, by the way. If you try to get somebody else in my opinion, you can at that point cross the line. Because now, like, it's more than, like, that's basically you're trying to invade their personal space, and you're trying to affect their life in a tangible way. Whereas if you're just making YouTube videos about them or talking about them or whatever, that's one thing. But if you're actually going like after their livelihood, trying to call their employer, messaging family members, trying to
By
get
the
them to
eye of
platforms,
Agamotto!
etc., you 100% cross the line.
Dark magic!
Absolutely. Everybody would say that.
To use other people as an icebreaker, as a scapegoat to get to me for years. And so it's no surprise why they would write such a freaking thing to demonetize and deplatform people, then to have me lump in these same freaking letters, which goes back to the rivalry. He just released another channel, Star Wars Explained, who has signed on to the demonetization. He just released out another channel, Star Wars Explained. Bro, I literally berating for years, being
The
jealous,
Sorcerer Supreme
envious,
lives
and rude,
once more.
and shit talking behind my back. There's so many people for so many years simply because I did well on YouTube. The receipts are all there.
Well, which got extremely personal, reviewing his private communication with the channel owner in the past.
Keep fighting until the winner.
Yeah. And this is the thing, which got extremely personal. This type of language is once again used to delegitimize Star Wars theory. You see what I'm saying, right? Like this is how it's being delegitimized. Depending on some people if I don't have the politics, yeah, if you're calling for a person to be demonetized, you are getting extremely personal because you're expecting the person like this is their job. They make YouTube videos for a living. So yeah, like talk about extremely personal, getting somebody fired from their job effectively, or like you know the Office Space, right? Like, well, you know, we just fixed the glitch. She still goes to work, and you know he doesn't get paid. You know, don't be surprised when somebody wants to burn the building down.
calling anyone out. That's just saying, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And that's all this is. The more you keep coming for me, the more I'm just going to expose you and destroy you. It's just how it works now. I've had enough. Star Wars Explained, who had signed on to the
And that's by the way, that's what he should do. He should absolutely be on the offensive, and he should be aggressive and proactive in stopping people who are trying to like hurt his career or try to get him shut down, because they're doing that to him. And so the only way that you can beat somebody who's aggressive is by being more aggressive than they are. And again, he's also, every single time that he's doing this, he is doing this reactively. It's not like he's going out of his way to do this to people. He's making his content, and then other people are trying to attack him. So, like, in him doing this, he's defending himself every time.
A video which got extremely personal, reviewing his private communications with the channel's owner in the past.
And then also, like, yeah, you're right. Here we go. Which goes after people's, quote, livelihoods. Well, what do you think happens if, like, I mean, if Forbes, for example, stopped giving Paul Tassi advertisements on his articles and he wasn't getting paid any money, would he think that's going after his livelihood? Of course he would, because that's how he makes money. It's an intentional, like, basically, it's an intentional, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think like the best way to say it. It's like kind of, you're making it seem trivial or you're making it seem unreasonable, right? It's rat, yeah, basically rat behavior, yeah. Scare quotes, exactly.
Bro's acting like I revealed some top secret.
Yeah, the fact that he's put livelihoods in quotations is super trivializing it. He is. He's doing it on purpose. Like, Paul's not stupid. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's doing it on purpose.
Information. The guy was trying to get my information. The guy was trying to understand a channel that was out for 2 months that amassed 50,000 subscribers could not fathom how his channel, which was around for 4 or 5 something years, was growing so fast, and he was trying to poach me for information and be my friend. And when I couldn't give him any information, because honestly, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I was just making Star Wars content I enjoyed, he started to just talk shit about me nonstop. And then he would apologize and talk more shit.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, is that this is a personal vendetta between the two of them. And the other person that Star Wars Explained doesn't like and is very clearly jealous of the fact that Star Wars Theory is extremely popular and he's not. I think that's what happened. This happens all the time in streaming, and it happens in entertainment everywhere. Because, like, they see somebody else that just started and they're already doing better than you. It happens to you too? Yeah, I mean, of course, it happens to everybody. You got ego check? Yeah, he did.
And then do it again and again and again, to the point where now his wife is trying to deplatform me and throw me under the bus for what?
He like full on went after me out of the frickin' blue on some topics and videos that I was talking about regarding some stuff. In this scenario, the solo posters. Fast forward to this, and now he's apologizing and blah, 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 blah.
And you realize it's not just the stuff that I showed, it's over the years, all of the weird little tweets that I would see, they would like, of people just talking ill about me, the Pablo Hidalgo stuff, they were all...
No, if people did that to me, I would absolutely put them on blast. Like, to me, I have a very, very simple policy. If you say something bad about me, I will go for the throat. I don't have a problem making a video about you. I don't have a problem making fun of you. I'm not sorry. I will do it. And here's the worst part. I enjoy it. It's one of my favorite parts of this job.
They enjoyed that. They were laughing with him. They were liking his tweets. Don't think I didn't see this.
Free content?
I see. I check. I watch. I just didn't say anything until tried to pull the plug. Here's my take on this whole grand drama, which does not appear to even be over yet. Oh, you bet it's not, man. We're just getting started. The hate for the Acolyte is unlike anything I've seen in Star Wars history, possibly even more than The Last Jedi, which is saying
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I would say
people were really negative about the prequels when they came out. I mean, the Acolyte, I feel like the show wasn't popular enough for the hate to be that big. Like, I would say proportionally, there was probably more hate for the Acolyte than any other Star Wars, like, thing. But, like, that was about it.
People are really disgusted by it, and I think it's just an absolutely abhorrent story that has no place in Star Wars and has no place before The Phantom Menace and just breaks a ton of lore. I mean, as you said, I've made countless videos about it, so why don't you go watch them? In fact, I bet you have, but just like your
Incognito
lack of
mode.
data, or rather your manipulation of data with YouTube's response time, you just want to lie and pretend like you don't know. But really, we all know you got that incognito mode open 24/7, and I'm living rent-free on your browser. Well, you're paying for the views, so thanks. I hope Alex doesn't lose any sleep over that tonight.
Get your ass up!
There absolutely was an industry created on YouTube dismantling the show each and every week. Yeah, it's called reviewing products, reviewing media, reviewing shows. And
Yeah, I think the idea that there's an industry that's created around it and then putting industry in quotations is again trying to make it sound ridiculous or trying to degrade or make it seem stupid again. You're doing it again. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, the industry is called film review and movie review. This is what people have been doing for 100 years.
That's, what do you think were the first people that have reviewed movies?
Yeah.
It's been going on for many, many years, far before YouTube even existed. People were reviewing movies in magazines. I'm
Anytime
sure
you use quotations like that, it's dismissive. It is.
was probably part of that as well.
Yeah, he's
Because
doing
there's
it on
an
purpose.
industry for people like you lying and trying to throw people under the bus and paint a picture that is so unbelievably far from the truth. But I guess, hey, when you're a journalist, the truth really doesn't matter. It's more so about clicks and what your narrative can purport to people who don't know any better. Even though this We Hate Disney Star Wars crew has been around for a long while, it did in fact make talking about the Acolyte online with any semblance of positivity practically impossible without being swarmed by what were often devotees of these channels, if not the YouTubers themselves.
So the problem with this is the implication that people disagreeing with you about your opinion about a TV show is problematic. That's what happens, is whenever you post something publicly, there are going to be other people that will respond to it publicly. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the way the world works. So, would it be impossible without being swarmed? Yeah, and also, has it ever occurred that maybe the reason why you're getting swarmed by people that disagree with you is because the opinions that you have are not the majority opinion? So if you put out an opinion and you say, like, I hate eating pizza, most people like pizza, and there's going to be people saying, hey, what the fuck do you mean? Like, pizza's great. They should make pizza illegal. Right? I mean, of course that's what's going to happen.
Where was this rhetoric with The Mandalorian Season 1 or Season 2? Where was this, for the most part, with Andor? Where was this level of disdain with Ahsoka? I mean, sure, yeah, a lot of people disliked it, but nothing close to this level. Where was this with Tales of the Jedi? So, am I to understand that it's all of the shows? Or could it perhaps be subjective? And why would it be subjective? Well, let's think about it. Maybe the shows just aren't as good as the other ones. Maybe it doesn't run along the pre-established lore or cadence that George Lucas created with Star Wars when he made it. Could that possibly be it? Or are we just picking at random?
Yeah,
here?
and also, again, like, this is also implying, this is another big issue, is that what this does is it implies that the negativity surrounding the Acolyte was an outcome of the YouTubers talking negatively about it rather than the show being bad. And so what it does is it compartmentalizes criticism as being an outcome of YouTubers who are doing it for making money or some sort of like ulterior motive.
And it just so happens that the ones we pick at random, because we don't like the shows, actually end up not doing well in terms of views and get canceled. This We Hate Disney Star Wars, there's no crew for that. It's a we love Star Wars. We love George Lucas Star Wars. And anything that wants to come in there and change that instead of adding to it, expanding it,
Well,
respect.
why is that a bad thing? If people don't like what Disney is doing with Star Wars, why is that bad?
it, then yes, we will
Yeah,
dislike
there's
that.
nothing
and
wrong
we're
with
gonna
that.
talk about it. This whole idea of, in today's world, it's like, oh, it's really ruining the positivity. Well, you don't have to be positive about something if it isn't good. You don't always have to be positive. Toxic positivity is the most annoying thing I have ever experienced, at least one of. Let's say you go to a restaurant and you're eating food and you really don't like it. It's got way too much salt. I dare you not to say anything. Don't be negative. Don't be negative. Enjoy it. Take that freaking salt and
He's right.
let your kidneys filter it through. Enjoy the high blood pressure, man. Don't say anything. You're being
Do you think
negative.
Disney's paying Forbes? No, I don't think there's any sort of thing like that going on. I just think that Paul disagrees with this guy and doesn't like him. Right? It's pretty obvious. Yeah, I don't really think it goes that deep. Maybe it does, but he's not in on the conversation.
Alex, you hear a dream? Okay, you okay?
So then we're essentially living in a world where this needs to be shut against any sort of human judgment. You cannot judge anything anymore. Everything has to be perfect. Everything is perfect. And there is no such thing as something not being up to par. You just have to talk about the positive things. I don't believe in that. I believe the best thing in life is to actually look at some of the things that aren't the best and really realize, okay, what can we do to course correct here and make it better? And that's how civilization got better. That's how evolution grew.
People aren't mad that you're criticizing it. People are mad that you're criticizing the thing that they like for reasons that they think you shouldn't be allowed to criticize. That's what it really is. I mean, I would say that's the fine print, but it's not. It's the bold text. Like, that's the truth. It's that people don't want you to be able to criticize this stuff for reasons that they have deemed to be, unquestionable.
Cities and technology and everything got better. It's like, well, you know what? I don't like this function. This could be better. That could be better. With everything, that's how things grow and that's how things improve. If everyone was just like, oh, what do you think? Penicillin would be created if people
And
weren't
also,
negative?
I think that a lot of writers and people misunderstand the way that the YouTube ecosystem works. So basically, do you want to know the reason why there weren't a lot of popular videos talking about how good The Acolyte was? It's because there weren't a lot of people that thought that it was good. It's the same reason why there's a lot of videos talking about how good Baldur's Gate 3 is and how good Elden Ring is. And there's also a lot of videos talking about how bad Concord was. It's because people are not necessarily going to YouTube to have their opinion defined. They're going to YouTube to have their opinion reinforced. So if you make content that already appeals to a large group of people, then those people are going to say, hey, listen, I agree with this. I'm going to watch this guy. You're validating their opinion. And this is a big problem that a lot of people have in understanding the relationship that content creators have with their audience. Because a lot of people think that the relationship is that the content creator just simply says something and then the audience is like, oh yeah, true. That's not true. And you can read any of my comment sections and you'd know that. There are often times where a huge contingency of my audience is disagreeing with me and saying that I'm wrong. And so the moment that you go against like for example, true? Yeah, so true, right? The moment that you go against any narrative at all that people have already defined, then I think people get really mad at you. Like, for example, I said whenever the Mr. Beast stuff happened, a lot of people were mad at me because I wasn't taking it more seriously. I said nobody's going to give a fuck about this in a couple of weeks and it's just entertainment. A lot of people got mad. I was right, by the way. However, that's and why is that? Because that's not the opinion people wanted to hear. The opinion people wanted to hear was, let's burn the witch. That's the reason. The Overwatch 2 loot boxes, a lot of people disagreed with you. They did. Disagree with you every once in a while. I don't care because it's usually objective and critical. Well, there's going to be everybody has disagreements. It's not a big deal. It's not even worth talking about. But what I'm saying is that the way that a content creator interacts with their audience is not something that is defined in a way that the content creator dictates to the audience what they think. And I think that in some cases, it's the audience that's dictating what the content creators think. And I think there's even a term for it, audience capture. So it's weird that we even have vocabulary that's been invented for the way that relationships between content creators and audiences have. And somehow we're trying to pretend like this doesn't exist. Very big problem that people have.
confirmation bias, so you are our fault. We're each other's fault. I'll be right back. I need to use the bathroom. I disagree with your take on Resident Evil. Oh, I thought the game was boring. Yeah, true. We good. All right.
You know, this infection is really horrible. It's killing everybody. But, you know, we should just enjoy life for the most part. And just, what do you, like, how far do you want this to go? Do you want, like, we can
To be fair, that is what people did during COVID. But yeah.
Just from we can take your analogy from movies and we can just go with something ridiculous like that. What is it?
Damn, this virus just sucks. Yeah, so anyway.
Consume the thing and be happy and repeat and ask for more. No, some people just don't like that. The Acolyte was almost certainly canceled for an absurdly high budget, reportedly 180 million. And is he repeating himself here? Which third-party estimates have documented as being lower than any other Star Wars series. Yet still, the cancellation was absolutely celebrated as a win by this YouTube fan crowd. And what
here's the problem. There is a critical question that's not being answered. Why was the viewership low? Low viewership doesn't just like happen. Like it isn't like, you know, there's the viewership fairy and it's like, well, you know, fate is fickle. No, there's a reason why it was very low.
They believe is vindication of their hate campaign against the show. It's not vindication.
Well, and this is again, and you can see how at the beginning something is introduced as a accusation, and then later on in the article, it's established as a fact. You see how this happens is like it's introduced as an accusation to have the reader let their guard down and accept what they're reading, and then later on, it presupposes that this is in fact what happened. It's again misleading language. It's building a lot. Yes, right? Exactly. Still, the cancellation was absolutely celebrated as a win. Yeah, because it was a win. That's the reason why it was celebrated as a win. Yeah, it's because they won. Like the show got canceled. It's dead. W. That's it. Yeah.
Campaign.
It was a win.
Hate campaign. It's being happy that something did not pass when it disrespected the lore, disrespected George Lucas, and just overall was a really convoluted mess of a show. I mean, that's really all it is. It's not that deep, man. It's just a bad show. Shows get canceled all the time. If Amanda Stenberg says she experienced lots of racism before and during the airing of the series, she is not lying. And there are multiple examples of racism against other actors of color in Star Wars, from John Boyega to Moses Ingram.
Yeah, one of those acts of racism was by Disney, by changing his character and making it smaller on the Chinese posters for the movie. So you want to talk about being racist against John Boyega, who, by the way, is a great actor. I think he's great. Wasn't he in Attack the Block back in the day? That was the first time I think I saw him. Like that's the real problem. Yeah, he was so good. I've known about this guy for years.
And I would say the biggest one was Disney, who shrunk John Boyega down the Chinese poster.
Oh, man. Good one. Real good one. Yeah, true.
Look what they did with Chadwick Boseman, with the Black Panther. I think they just tried to really support this narrative, and it can be called out so easily and dismantled with facts. Because they're all out there. This is not opinion. This is this guy's opinion. And in fact, he's not even getting the facts straight about certain things. He's just misleading stuff.
Yeah.
So I think these writers and these publications are just so full of it because there's nothing actually genuine about them. It's very disingenuous. And I'm calling it all
I
out
do
here.
think that this article is disingenuous. At the beginning, I was trying to defend it because at the beginning, I thought that it was fair. And then it changed from being fair to building on accusations and then, you know, creating narratives around them just being assumed to be true. Then you listened? Well, of course, right? That's what I do, is I read something and then I make a decision based off of what I read. I try not to say something is biased before it's biased, and I try not to say something that isn't biased. That isn't biased until I can prove that, right? I think that's the way that you should think. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
One by one. It would be very, very difficult to
Yeah.
mount any sort of campaign to prove to a
Block
giant
underrated movie.
corporate
True.
blob like YouTube. When I talk about corporate blob, bro, what Forbes is turning into. Forbes used to be a publication that actually meant something, but now they have half-bit writers like you out there spreading misinformation. I mean, just
I think that they need to up their game on the propaganda. I think that this propaganda is way too surface level. I think Paul can do a better job writing it. And there are other ways that you can imply this kind of stuff that's more subversive and less easy to tell. It's weak as fuck propaganda. Yeah, Goebbels would be, he would, he would not approve of this. Neither would Stalin. Yeah, they're like, this is, oh, you're not even trying. Come on, yeah, you're getting fired. This is nothing. Come on. Yeah, to the gulag. Yeah, exactly. Gerbil? Yeah, you could ask the guy I banned earlier. He knows all about him.
scroll up, man, just to purport your narrative. That's ridiculous. That's not journalism. That's not seeing things from a side of fairness and balance. This is an
amateur hour,
unbalanced journalist who obviously has some sort of agenda against YouTubers and against...
I think it does really damage a person's credibility when they try to establish themselves as a neutral source, and then they try to inject their bias in the conflict. So this happens a lot in media. I think that in politics, it's extremely defined. But in general, I find this to be incredibly problematic. Because the issue isn't that you're biased. The issue is that you are establishing yourself as being unbiased. And you're like, let's talk about what happened. And you're not really talking about what happened. You're talking about who's right with what happened. That's where the issue is. What's wrong with gerbils? They hate Jews. Yeah. Be careful, man.
People that didn't like what he liked. I guess they're all racist and they need to be deplatformed. Corporate blob like YouTube that the specific Star Wars channels are breaking. You know, the only Star Wars channel he spoke about here was me. Paul, bro, like what's your...
So
breaking?
It would be very difficult, it would be very difficult to mount any sort of campaign to prove to a giant corporate blob like YouTube that specific Star Wars channels are breaking TOS due to racism and harassment, as evidenced by that 13 minutes later response. So we're gonna go ahead and look at this. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna look at this part right here, and I'm gonna show you guys kind of how this happens again. So you have things like giant corporate blob, and this is being used to degrade the quality of assessment that YouTube is making, and it's trying to make YouTube less qualifiable to make this judgment. And then also you have the 13 minutes later auto response, and this again ties back into the giant blob idea. So you're using this language to create a narrative that YouTube did not properly evaluate the topic, and that YouTube would, and the implication, of course, YouTube would, if they had fully evaluated it, get them in trouble. That's clearly what the assessment is. You see how this happens.
You know, the only Star Wars channel he spoke about here was me. Paul, bro, like what's your heart on with me for? You're just freaking obsessed. I guess, you know, maybe this is getting you views. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can make a video.
It is guaranteed that this
do fine. So I know that's what you're gonna go to.
Yeah.
You're getting views off my article. Absolutely, bro. You're calling me out. You started it. What do you want? Fair game, baby. Game is game. Corporate blob like YouTube that specific Star Wars channels are breaking terms of service due to racism or harassment. Again, another lie. Where
and this is again another assumption. See, again, you have three things that are happening, right? I just want you guys to understand what's happening here. Alleged racism and harassment by fans. So it starts here, and then it goes to racism and harassment by fans, and then it goes to racism and harassment by YouTubers. And you see how the article has followed, how it's followed this train of thought. You see how it happens? And once you start to see this, it becomes evident everywhere.
Evidence. Please show me the evidence of me being racist or showing harassment or sending harassment to anyone. I would say it's actually what you do to YouTubers. Me. As evidenced by that 13 minutes later auto
No one's being harassed. He's not being harassed. Paul isn't being harassed. The people at the Acolyte aren't being harassed. They're just being disagreed with. And we live in a world that is so bubble wrapped and padded and kept safe that when somebody experiences a disagreement, they interpret it as harassment. Nobody here is being harassed by any content creator. They're being disagreed with.
response. Again, another lie. That response was done after a day's work of them investigating. So could have been hours. They fully took a day. Not because it's not true necessarily, but getting anyone other than some keyword searching robot to examine this closely is near impossible. They had actual responses. I mean, look at Molly's response.
Well, you could easily tell whether it was a real response or not, because if you look at the way that Google, the way that YouTube does, because YouTube does have bot replies. But if you search the YouTube bot replies, the language and the syntax is one for one. So you can tell that it's a bot reply because that language has been used by YouTube in previous circumstances, because the same bot is going to generate the same information based off of the same outcome, logically, right? So if you can't look this up and find that there's a bunch of other comments that are made exactly like this, then you should immediately think it probably wasn't because it was a bot.
YouTube and YouTube's responses to her, and that was clearly a person that checking something out, and they responded to a few of these people that tried to deplatform all of us, and in the end this was the final response. I mean, I don't know what you want, bro. Sour grapes. And you tried to take people's livelihoods away under the guise of being racist, and you failed. Now you want to say it's a bot response when it's clearly right. The date is right there, bro. They took a full day to actually figure out, but you're saying it's minutes. There's also a fine line between what you can prove to YouTube as overt racism or targeted harassment, and people just being awful in general. You're one to talk.
Well, and this is, again, another example, right? Being awful in general. This is an assumption that's being made. Yeah, this is, again, it's an assumption that's being made based off of this.
Which is allowed frequently on the platform. There will likely be nothing to stop this large group of YouTubers or large audiences. I cannot think of other examples of fandom where a toxic portion has simply been wiped off the map in any meaningful way. Wow, dude, those karma points are really adding up for you right now, eh? Maybe the worst offenders sometimes, but rarely. It just doesn't really happen. It's more pronounced here because Star Wars is
well, it's again to stop this large group of YouTubers and their large. Well, and this is the thing. I cannot think of other examples where a fandom has had a toxic portion simply be wiped out. So it's basically you're establishing the subject, which is a large group of YouTubers and their audiences, and then you're attributing a attribute to that group, the toxic portion, where a toxic portion is, right? So like he's defining them. And it's like, I have no problem with Paul coming out and saying, yeah, this is what I think about this. This is where I'm at. But like, don't go and try to talk about like you're not giving a fair shake of this.
Worst manifestations of this, other than say MCU haters who spent 100 videos on their channels going after Brie Larson. It may not surprise you that there is a significant overlap in these channels. You cannot.
And this is again the assumption is that you know, these people are being sexist. Right? There's clearly the implication of that. He's talking about like the quartering and stuff like that. Quartering, like Jeremy made like 50 videos about her. I watched like 2 of them. I don't even know. Brie Larson because racism, huh? Yeah, and also I think that, yeah, Brie Larson's white. So it's like, if this is really a racist problem, then why is... So there's a big overlap in these channels. well, if racism is the reason why they're harassing this woman, then wouldn't there not be an overlap?
Rely on Disney to back up its harassed actors like they should, and you
Racist
cannot rely on
answer.
YouTube to do
Very
anything useful here.
Yes.
They are corporations. They care about money above everything else, and they rarely will ever listen to fans over issues like this. Again, it's about the money. And I would argue that if you take money out of the whole equation and views and clout and all that stuff and all that was invisible,
Yeah.
would this still matter to them so much? Would they still be talking about money constantly? It's all about money. What does the money have to do with anything, any of the merit that we're actually saying in our videos? At least
Well, the reason why they're talking about money is because money is the reason why everything here exists. Money is the oxygen for content on the internet. If you can't make money with content, you can't make as much content. So then that's the reason, is that people want to attack somebody else's financing because that's the easiest way to get them to stop talking about something that you don't like. It's that simple. They don't have money or jealous. Well, I think honestly, everybody is making content for money. Like this ad that is on this article that's on Forbes probably has ads all over it. There's probably dozens of ads, and probably not dozens, but probably like 5 or 6 ads that's on just this one article. So of course that's what happens.
in my videos. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Well, you're such a stand-up guy because you don't do anything for money. It's not like you're misinforming people.
Well, Paul's doing it for money too. We're all doing it for money. Like, to act like one person's doing it for money, everybody's content's monetized. Like, my videos are monetized. His are monetized. Paul's articles are monetized. His videos, I think, are monetized too because he records videos too. What are we doing?
Literally flat out lying and saying that people should lose their jobs because you don't agree with their takes on movies and shows. Wow, what a person. So yeah, I don't have much hope anything here changes. Not that the movement isn't justified. Oh shit, okay, doubling down. Given everything that's happened, but any actual result seems effectively impossible.
Not that the movement isn't justified given everything that's happened. Given everything that's happened. And what's happened? Oh, that's right. There are no examples. This is like one of the chatters. Well, you're wrong all the time. Like when? It's all the time. I can't, but you're about everything. Like what? Everything.
Well, thanks, Paul Tassi. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you make another article so I can break that shit down and expose more of your lies and more of your defamatory remarks and slander. Have a great day. And anyone
I don't
else
think that anybody
who
is
thinks
slandering
that having
anybody.
a voice and having an opinion has to be on the same lines as every other human being. And I'm here to say that I think
And by the way, this is the reason why all journalism is the same, especially with games journalism. It's because the moment that somebody steps off of the accepted type of thought, they are attacked and they're deplatformed and they're demonetized and they're, mischaracterized massively. This is the reason why if you look at IGN, Polygon, Forbes, any of these different publications, they all have the exact same opinions. It's because when you don't have that exact same opinion that they have, they categorize you as racist, that you hate women, or that you are somehow a bigot or a person that is a problem in one way or another. And that's why you have only one group of people that's speaking about this. Fall in line or get demonetized? Yep, there you go. Accepted is a strong word. It's more radical than accepted. Well, it's accepted inside of their sphere of things, right? They're using fascist tactics in terms of equality. Well, this is what happens, right? Is if you speak out against it, you get in trouble, and they try to get you demonetized. This is why you only see one form of journalism. It's because that the existing, kind of the main one is constantly being used to suppress the other types of thinking.
Totally acceptable, as long as you were respectful, to dismantle whatever form of media or art that you wish. Why didn't you like it? Why did you think it was shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't it resonate with you? At the end of the day, art is created to evoke some sort of emotion from the viewer, and that is subjective. If it made you feel a certain way, type of way, why?
Yeah.
And I believe in my YouTube videos, I very respectfully and eloquently discuss that, let's say for the most part. So, hey, keep conversing.
You should never try to defend yourself against people like this, because when you defend yourself, you're now playing their game. I don't think that Star Wars Theory should try to defend what he said, because the moment that you defend it, now you are giving it oxygen. That's why, like, if somebody calls me like racist or sexist or like I hate any group of people, I say, yeah, sure. Because like the moment that you start fighting against it, this is like, it's a human psychology thing. People think that if you fight against something, it means that it's true.
Out there, keep talking about what you like and what you don't like. Don't feed into this.
Yeah, to defend it is to admit guilt.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
Humans are made to judge things. We are given brains to have a preference about different things. But don't be racist. Don't hurt anybody. Don't be disrespectful. But if you didn't like a piece of art, you are more than entitled to your opinions. And that's all I have to say about this. Hope you guys have a great day. Be respectful out there. Be good. And always talk your shit. Love you guys. May the force be with you.
I didn't expect to watch this entire thing. I really didn't. The reason why I sat through it is that I have a personal vendetta against writing that I feel like is misleading and I feel like is propaganda. This is a personal vendetta that I have, and I get hyper fixated on it because I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and I see it in every form of media nowadays, whether it's on television, whether it's written, whether it's on YouTube or anything like that. I see these biases, and what really makes me mad, as I said before, is not the fact, and it's becoming less true every day, but for the most part, the reason why these things happen is because they work. This type of propaganda and misinformation is extremely effective, and that's the reason why these articles are written this way. People wouldn't be using the same propaganda techniques for 50 years if they weren't effective. The same shit that Orwell wrote about in 1948 for 1984, that was a what do you call it? Like, that's the same stuff that people are using now. Then you're watching the whole video. Star Wars Theory is a great person, doesn't deserve any of this. I don't think that he was defamed or anything like that. At least I didn't read any defamation necessarily. Maybe, but I think that also it's an instance of, I don't think that he did anything wrong by making videos that were negative about the show. Don't you think it's better to ignore this journalist? No, I don't think so. I think it's important to confront things directly and to address them head on. It's always problematic when you think that you can ignore something and it will go away. Most things that you ignore like this continue getting worse until they reach a critical mass. I think that there are some cases where what you're saying is true, but I don't necessarily think that's it. The problem with Star Wars Theory was doing what you did for 8 years, but they still continued. Your method doesn't work, and Star Wars Theory is one such example. He just had enough. You can't blame him, really. I don't know what you mean by that. The sad part is, Paul knows that it was disingenuous. Well, I think that Paul, he's writing the article from his perspective, and that's fine. But if you're writing the article from your perspective, you shouldn't try to introduce the topic as if you're giving an unbiased assumption, or not assumption, but a summary of what happened. You can't say, well, I'm going to explain what happened in the Civil War, and this side was wrong and this side was right. That's what happened. That's the issue. But his perspective bent the real truth, left out a lot of truths. Yeah. And I think that that's the other issue, is that a lot of, and you guys are probably, how many of you have deep or expert knowledge in a certain topic, right? Even if it's a video game. And you read an article about the thing that you have deep or expert knowledge in, and the article is full of inconsistencies. My opinion is that every article is like that. You just don't know enough to know it. And I think that there are too many people that read and they watch things and they don't actually do their own thinking about them. And they end up letting somebody else do that thinking for them. And I find that to be very problematic. They clearly lied about the YouTube response to victimize his side. It's hard to say that he did that on purpose, but he did misrepresent it, whether it was on purpose or not. But yeah, big surprise. Star Wars Theory has 3 million subscribers, and then some other smaller channel is trying to make him look bad because they're probably jealous. I think that's what probably happened. That's what always happens. Our previous comment was about you telling him to ignore it or it'll get worse. Oh, well, I think that you should obviously address this stuff directly. Yeah, you should always address it directly if you want to. Like, you don't have to, but like, if you want to, you should. That's my opinion, right?
No, come on! She's not here.
Fire. Oh, he knew.
You think I want my bar blasted up like this? Done with that kid. In fact, I'll help you find her.
No. You'd slow us down.
Oh, let's go. Oh, that's what you do. Working with criminals. Bro, you just got shot in the leg. How you walking around?
Bram,
It's nothing.
your leg.
It's nothing. This is a new crew.
Walked it off, bro. He
High
said, fuck it.
risk. Whatever it takes, you finish this job. The score alone is enough to buy you a damn shuttle-off world. That's what you want, right? Time to go, Kay. For good.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'll come back.
No. You won't.
Good. You're causing problems for that man. He trying to run a normal establishment. She causing all this trouble. You meet up with the crew?
Six skins all over the place. We can't let them see us next.
It's fine.
So it's true? She hit you guys. Just tell me where she is. I don't know. I mean, I heard she has that place above the cantina. You see her, you come straight to us.
The Canto comes been good to me. We three my friends.
Freeze! Where do you think you're going?
Fine, you got me.
Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Sure thing.
Six skins all over the
Wait,
place.
so can I run through
Can't let them
this?
see us next.
I want to see if I can run through it.
So it's true? She hit you guys. Just tell me where she is.
I got you this time.
Ah, shit.
All
No.
right, I know.
Okay, I wanted to
It's
see.
over.
Look, I had to. Look, I'm a limit tester. What can I say? Like, it would have been really funny if I ran through the whole thing without them being able to do anything. It would have been a great clip. It was worth taking the
skins all
risk,
over the
okay?
place.
It was. I
Can't
almost
let
made
them
it.
see us next.
Okay, let's go. It's a solid attempt. Yes.
Where is she? So it's true? She hit you guys. Just tell me where she is. I don't know. I mean, I heard she had that place above the cantina. You see her.
Oh, good. Oh, good. All right, let's go this way then. I can't go that way. I have to go onto this, and then I have to go onto that, then I have to go onto this, and I have to go onto that, then I have to go over to this, and then I have to go over to that, and then I have to go over to this, and I have to go down to that. I'm so smart. C. Press near a hook point, and you can grappling to the hook point.
I did it! Guys, I did it. I did it.
Pre-Man, we know you helped Kate. Open up! You wanna live?
They cut off with Previn. I guess I'm not the only one who needs to get off of Kanto.
Okay, let's run.
Okay, Bram's data pad said
We're almost
the
there.
contact's name is Denian. They should be just ahead.
Denian needs no. Oh shit. Now what?
Mount up. Where are you from?
They're really cool. Is that Anderson Cooper?
You're local. Yeah, but I never get to see it like this. Looks like a fun town. You're not from here. Who's the Mark?
The boss named Slero. Runs a syndicate called Zarek Besh. They're new, they're rich, and rumor has it they've got the underworld scared.
Uh-oh.
Which means security.
Uh-oh.
Enough. But a fortune for us if you can get to his vault. Password override.
Why would they give that to her?
You and your little friend there better be as good as Brem says.
Is it, wait, is that Slim Shady? It's a test? Okay.
You're stopped.
Let's do it.